WTF, welcome to Funkatopia. I am your host, Mr. Christopher, and we got to start at the right place, right? My co-host, whose drumming is more tasty than your grandma's cooking and twice as spicy, Mr. Michael Bland's in the house.
Yes,
in the face.
Great.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
Yeah. So like last week we were like, well, we might take Tuesday off, but then I had to open my damn mouth and I said, okay, well, maybe, the tickets will go on sale and then we'll end up, yeah, I was like, okay.
And lo and behold.
Yeah. Yesterday they went on sale. So tonight we're going to have let's say hello to some folks. I guess we'll scroll back up and some of you folks been here for a while. Rents, what's going on? Paul Smith, I see you asked a question about the Endorphin Machine stage. Yeah, we talked about that last week. He had a really cool answer. You need to go check that out. Yash, Red Cat, miss you too. Cat, Kyle. I still can't figure out how to pronounce Phantom. Did we just say just fan? Is that what we're going to shorten it to? Purple Nerd Channel, always in the house. What is going on? And Kenny T, Samantha, Joni, man, it's awesome, man. I love seeing all you fine folks, and especially yes, and always try to drop in where you're joining us from, because we like to see where you're coming from.
Yeah,
got some Indiana folks in here. Congrats to the Florida Gators last night. That was an interesting win. For those who are college basketball fans. But man, good stuff. Welcome to the pre-show. This is the pre-show. We just kind of hang out and maybe talk about some little sporadic topics until we get right to the top of the hour at 8 o'clock. And then I'm going to do the raffle right at the top of the hour. So I'm not going to, I hate when you click on these videos and they say, oh, I'm going to unveil the secret to whatever. And then you start the video and an hour later, man, you're still listening to him pump it up. And it's like, shut up and just do this. So we're going to do the raffle right at the 8 o'clock hour. And the reasoning for that is because we want you guys to be engaged and not anxious and waiting for us to do it. Just go, let's do it, get out of the way. That's what you're here for. It's cool, man. If you want to hang, but I suggest hanging out because we have a pretty damn good show. So just stay where you're at. Jeanette says, can you show us your shirt? It's probably talking about mine, I guess. Yeah, this is this is the Mandala Prince shirt. This is from the Prince Immersive Experience. I got it off of their website. I don't know if you can get it anymore, but I think if you look for Prince Immersive Experience and Prince Mandala shirt. Yeah, that's that one. Yeah. Man, Los Angeles. Honolulu. Oh, there's Claire, of course. Milwaukee, Fort Lauderdale, Seattle, San Francisco, Milwaukee, Montana, Pittsburgh, Edmonton, Canada, New York City. What is up? Oh my gosh. Look at all you fine folks. Man, everywhere. That's awesome. John Frost is in the house. What's going on, Big John? John Frost is the original, the OG Patreon supporter. He was like one of the first on board, and he went all in and hard. He's been supporting Funkatopia for years. I made him some shirts and some sweatshirts and got him hooked up with some of that Funkatopia swag, which you can get at funkatopia.com/shop. I forgot to put this scroll that runs across the bottom talking about this is the Funkatopia Live pre-show. Stay with us. We start at 8 o'clock. How was your weekend, Michael?
It was cool. My band Urban Classic, we played our Pure Soul show.
Oh, that's right. The
Toda on Friday, and it was
nice.
It was real nice. It wasn't quite sold out, but it was nice and packed. And it's really, it's funny because I realized I'm sort of going in the opposite trend of a lot of cover bands in town in Minneapolis right now. I'm kind of going for a little bit more of a sophisticated thing with this Pure Soul show. It's like Isaac Hayes and Otis Redding, and like it's really it's like a really great band playing like real chill, man. And
I love that.
Yeah, some people don't like yelling at each other all night over the band.
I love it.
And we play so quiet, you can hear a pin drop. You can hear a cot pee or what is it? A rat pee on cot. That's it. It's so in that room. It's I mean, it's just really an intimate experience. You know, next gig we got up is not going to be that. It's going to be the 19th
Together show. Yeah. So, and matter of fact, let's go ahead and get some of this out of the way. I've got a couple of news things, and then we're going to talk about that real quick.
All right.
But first thing is, because we always got to prep the show. It's the 19th is coming up fast. We got to make sure you guys get your friggin' tickets. I guess this existed at some point in time, but the Secret Diaries of Vanity is coming out, written by Denise K. Matthews. I guess, was this previous released and then unprinted? I don't know what the story of this is, but it's Vanity's book, untold story of the life, rise, and fall and redemption of the actress singer formerly known as Vanity. And it kind of had, this kind of stuff makes me nervous. It's like, she's been gone a while. Is this AI written? Is this like legit? Does anybody know the story on this book? I don't. It's just this stuff makes me nervous.
I want to say something about the artwork, but it'll expose me in the process. So I'm gonna leave it alone. It looks a little kind of like a little different product. It don't quite look like a book, but
it's like those software. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know exactly what I'm saying. Listen, man. I mean, I don't mean to be sacrilegious, but I know. When she joined, finally, God bless her, she joined the church. She got her salvation. But I know they had to be using Vanity to bring the brothers in that church. Because and she was they put her in the box, I'm sure she was as beautiful as she was ever.
Yeah. So someone said this has been released before, but if you want to check this book out, if you're interested in reading it, I'm sure she's got some pretty interesting stories. But someone in the chat room just said it's Lisa said it was out before.
Okay.
So, and I maybe you're right. Kiaria says I thought her book was called "Blame It on Vanity." I love
that.
That's actually a pretty good one.
Yeah.
And then she says, "Is that the one that her pastor released?" I don't know. So, anyways, you want to check that out? Go to funkatopia.com, funkatopia.com/vanity. It will take you right to this page because this URL is insane. It's so friggin' long. So just go to funkatopia.com/vanity and it will take you right there and you can order it. There's no affiliate link attached to it. I don't get any credit for it. I was just trying to make it easier for you if you're interested in checking it out. Yesterday was the 47th year anniversary of Prince's debut album, For You.
How about that?
So I'm hoping that the estate is ready in 3 years from now to do something on the 50th, but I'm not sure what you would do on the 50th. I'm not, maybe you get people that were there in the beginning, like Chris Moon and Pepe Willie and those cats and stuff. I don't know, but you got a 50th anniversary of that first album. You got to start thinking outside the box. Start thinking, what we got coming up. But and it was also yesterday, being the 7th, was also the originally scheduled date of Prince's final show that was here in Atlanta. Oh. He was scheduled to be there on the 7th, and then he canceled and moved it to a week later because he wasn't feeling well or whatever. But then when he came, he killed it for those 2 shows. It was an amazing, amazing concert, which unfortunately ended up being his last 2 shows. But both those, I was so glad to be there. It was just so incredible. But we will be, we'll be doing some things. So let's talk about some of the stuff we got coming up, including the one you just started to mention. But first, we'll start off in chronological order. Coming up this Friday, I believe, we are going to be pre-recording an interview. And then next Tuesday, we will play it for you. We'll still do the pre-show and everything. But for those who have not been around, next Tuesday, we welcome experimental musician and bass master Mono Neon.
Yes.
Yes.
My goodness.
So we're going to be interviewing Mono Neon this week. It's going to be pre-recorded, so I'll make sure that I post it on Facebook so you guys can get your questions in. As I said last week, don't even bother to ask about Black is the New Black. That's going to be one of the first questions out of my mouth. For those who don't know what Black is the New Black, what that is, it's an album that him and Prince worked on, an instrumental album. I think there's some vocals on it too. But it got shelved. It's sitting in the vault, but I'm going to ask him about it. We're going to talk about it. So it's going to be. Do you have the capability? So, anyways, next week, join it next Tuesday for Mono Neo. Do you have the capability to star? Do you have like a little star on next to some of these chats? So if you want to save, if you see a question that you want to star, to move to that star tab. I didn't know if you had that capability or not. I was going to star some of them for you.
You talking about me?
Yeah, you.
I don't see the mechanism, but that doesn't mean it's not here. I just don't.
Well, if you mouse over one of the individual chats, there should be a star in the upper right hand corner of each chat, and you could click it, and then it moves it to that star tab. I don't know if that was available to you or not.
Let's see.
I'm just checking. So while you're looking to see, that is the 15th. Then on the 18th, you guys are going to love this. On the 18th, the Prince Transition Celebration. April 18th, noon Eastern Standard Time, we will be playing all of Prince's music completely in alphabetical order. And it takes 4.5 days to do that. All you got to do is check out. Well, it's just great. It just takes a long, long time. And it's only on the Funked Up app. So you just go, if you have iPhone, Android, it's available for both. Just go there, just download the app. And that app includes the podcast that you're watching right now, the audio versions of them. Plus, on top of that, it has 3 licensed radio stations that are ASCAP licensed radio stations with global music rights licensing. That's also going to be coming here. All of it's free, except for the 3rd radio station that is on that app, which is called Uptown Radio Plus. And this Transition Celebration A to Z is only on that Uptown Radio Plus. It's only available to Patreon supporters. So you need to go to patreon.com/Funkatopia. And once you're there, you get the password and you'll have access to that broadcast when it happens on April 18th. That's not a free broadcast. That's only on that Uptown Radio Plus. Plus, that station also allows you to make requests, which is super freaking awesome. Not during the transition celebration. We can't do that. We don't want you guys interrupting the show with some craziness. But during normal radio hours, you can actually request music on that radio station just for Patreon supporters. So make sure you head to patreon.com/Funkatopia. That's patreon.com/Funkatopia and sign up and get ready for that special event. That's going to be pretty friggin' awesome. And then, of course, that weekend, you heard it right here, that weekend, together, Saturday, April 19th, 2025. Yes. You want to give them the hoedown?
It looks pretty good from here, man. Yeah, now I'm learning the angles of this camera. No, it's going to be a nice event. Yes, it's
yeah, it's pretty sizable. That's got a lot. That's got a lot of names on it.
Yeah, it's a cavalcade of people you mostly know and love. It's really just an opportunity for us to give honor to the music of Prince, and to give the fans something genuine and from our hearts, and it's really just all about paying real respect. You know what I mean?
It's going to be awesome. It's a tribute to the music of Prince, and obviously it features the one, the only, the man, Michael Bland, and he's actually doing the musical direction for this also, but it also features Tommy Barbarella, Levi Caesar Jr., Dr. Fink of The Revolution, Homer Odell, and Rick Kinchin from Min Condition, and of course, G Sharp, JB, and Ashley Commodore, and the Urban Classic Horns.
Front line, yes, my people.
All there in Hopkins, Minnesota at the Hopkins Center for the Arts. If you want to get tickets, once again, I made it easy for you. Funkatopia.com/NPG. That's it. Just go that. We'll take you right to the tickets for this. Get your tickets. Yes, I will be there. Obviously, Michael's going to be there. He is the backbone. He's got to be there.
I'll be there all day.
You'll be there all day.
Yeah.
I'll be there too. So we will be there. So it'll be great to be able to hang out with some of you guys. We haven't hung out in a long time, since like the last Together event was the last time I got to hug your neck. So there you go. We'll be there. So it's going to be fun. All right. That's pretty much that. Here's something else. And since we're kind of now officially moving into the show hour, I think I can take this. I can take this scroll down now because it's no longer the pre-show. So I'll put up the. Let's see. We'll put up this one. Yeah, welcome to Funkatopia Live. Please follow on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, do whatever you got to do. Follow on X, click subscribe, all that stuff. Follow, just please. We need your support here on this.
All that stuff.
So, as you're a Patreon supporter, you're not only getting access to that A to Z radio show that plays all of Prince's music in alphabetical order starting on the 18th, but another thing I did for them is that everybody that was a Patreon supporter got an entry into this raffle that we're about to do right now.
Yes, man.
So it depended on your level. If you're at, if you're at a $5 level, you got an entry. If you're at, whatever level you're at, you got whatever it is divided by 5. That's how many entries you got. And then, of course, we had some new Patreon supporters that also came in as well. And we had some other people that maybe they're just not ready to commit on Patreon, but they wanted to be a part of it. So they donated and they got their names in the raffle as well. You wanted to say something? Sorry.
No, I'll bring
okay. All right. Okay.
All right. See who wins all those nifty vinyl and
it's gonna be nice
gifts, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. Are you guys, I'm assuming you guys are ready. You guys are ready for this. Okay, we can do it. So I just wanted to go ahead and kind of get this raffle out of the way because we got a lot to talk about tonight with the Celebration 2025 announcement that just came out with the early bird stuff. So we're going to talk about the pricing, the bands, the events. We're going to talk about everything, but I wanted to go ahead and get this raffle kind of out of the way so that you could be involved in the Purple conversation and not be like all anxious about when is it going to happen. I don't want to go pee because he's going to do it while I'm gone. Murphy's Law always happens, right? So, so we'll make sure that doesn't. Anyways, we just want to have the conversation about the celebration without you stressing the whole show, wondering when we're going to do it. I know that's dumb because I think that's like a really bad sales tactic. I'm supposed to get you on here and then keep you on here for an hour. And I just don't want to do that. It's just too much. That is so annoying when salespeople do that. So I'm not that guy. So anyways,
they'll stay just to hear the juicy bits that are coming, man.
You got it.
We have more confidence in our audience, man. Let's believe that they'll stick around.
Oh no, they'll hang around. They'll hang around.
The hors d'oeuvres and the expensive drinks have gone.
There's a reason why bands don't play their biggest hits until the very end of the show. They want you to kind of stay with the thing. So that's just the reality. It happens.
I can't argue with that.
All right. So here is the picture of all of the product that is in this raffle giveaway. This is everything. This is all 3 packages together. But I did take the time to separate them out so that we have 3 separate prize packages. So that you can kind of see what it is that you're winning without having to go through that and try to pick it out. Anyway, so before it's just various states of awesomeness here. Before I spin to get our 3rd place winner first, let's do some ground rules. I want to kind of talk about some things that apply every time I do this every year. I am using an online spinner to spin the wheel. I think I use this one a lot. It's called Wheel of Names. It's wheelofnames.com. They give you put a bunch of names in, it gives you a spinner and you just hit it and it just kind of goes. So that way you guys know it's happening right in front of your eyes. It's random. I don't tell it what to pick. Here's the thing. If you have multiple entries, which you probably do, if you have, let's just say you donated $10, you got 2 entries into the thing. If I draw your name, let's say I draw your name and you're the 3rd prize winner. If I then do it again and do another that one entry of your name comes out. So you still have 1 entry that's sitting on that wheel. So if you have 10 entries and you win, you still have 9 other entries on that wheel. But if I draw your name again, you will be upgraded to whatever that prize is. And then I will respin for a new winner for the prize you just got upgraded from. Okay, does that make sense?
It makes sense to me, yeah.
Okay, so I'm hoping it makes sense to people. I don't think that's going to happen because there's a lot of Patreon supporters. If you're a Patreon supporter, you have a very high probability of winning because it was a majority Patreon supporters that were already kind of lumped in as my gift to them, because I want to make sure that I always show love to our supporters. I mean, that's just part of it. So I want to make sure that you guys are all taken care of. Anyways, basically, you can't win multiple packages. You just get upgraded to the bigger prize, and somebody else gets a chance to win that previous prize. All right,
Sure.
so
I think that's fair.
all right, so let's share the tab where all the names are on. Let's see if I can pull this up. Yeah, it's the wheel of names. It's a lot. It's a lot of names. Now, keep in mind, these are a majority of Patreon supporters that they've been donating, and so their names are in here. So we don't start doing crazy math in your head. But this is all of the names that are here, and there's a lot of them. And if you had multiple entries, let's just say you had 4 entries, all 4 of them are not on top of each other. I made sure that your name was separated out into different parts of the wheel to kind of make it as evenly keeled as possible. So we're going to start there. All right, so let's do this. This is for the, let me see if I can pull this up. This is for the 3rd place prize. This 3rd place prize, this package includes vinyl for Earth, Wind, and Fire, All in All, the vinyl for Parliament Funkadelics, The Clones of Dr. Funkenstein, the vinyl for Sue Ann's Blue Velvet album,
Yes.
the vinyl for Jody Watley's self-titled debut,
Oh yeah, man.
the vinyl for the Australian band Wah Wah Nee, My Loving Me, Where Sugar Free. You remember that? Okay,
I'm not hip. That's all right.
yeah, it's a good tune. And also the vinyl for Madam X, which is Bernadette Cooper's project that she did after Climax, and then she went back to Climax and everything. And also a CD from Erykah Badu, Worldwide Underground, the CD for Eminem's Recovery, and the CD for Wendy and Lisa's Are You My Baby. There it is. That's
a hot package, man. That's
that's hot.
sizzling.
That's hot. All right, so here we go. Yeah, we're gonna add it. Let's see if I can. I got to remove this there to put this on the stage, and we are now going to spin this wheel and see who won this 3rd place prize. Here we go. Ooh, sound and everything. You guys hearing that?
Uh-oh.
So stressful. Mary 319. All right. Mary 319, you won the 3rd place prize. I'm going to make sure that I indicate that on there. If you are a Patreon supporter and you don't have your shipping address in there, please make sure that you send me your shipping address to funkatopia@gmail.com or put it onto your Patreon thing. Mary 319 is a Patreon supporter. All right. That was the 3rd place. There you go. Congratulations to Mary. And let's do this. Now, here is the 2nd place drawing. 2nd place is badass as well.
That's hot too. Yes.
Yeah. 2nd place is vinyl for Jesse Johnson's Every Shade of Love. Vinyl for Jesse Johnson's Review. The CD of Prince's 1999, the CD of Prince's Come, the CD of Prince's Musicology, the CD of Prince's Chaos and Disorder, CD of Prince's Love Sexy, and the CD of Prince's Sign of the Times.
That's an old school double, man. I see that.
That's hot. I mean, there's a lot of CDs there, and CDs are a little bit more. Not everybody's into vinyl. I put most of the vinyl in the grand prize, but so there's that. All right, so let's go ahead and remove this, put the wheel back up, and now we're going to do the 2nd place. Let's just see what happens. Here we go for this 2nd place package. Here we go. Let's see here. Are you guys hearing the sound of it clicking or whatever? Sue Bailing. All right, Sue.
It's a clap for Sue. Yeah.
Yeah. Sue Bailing. Congratulations, Sue. Man, that's awesome. Let me make sure that I put that into. I have to put it into the system here so I don't forget who the winners were. And all right, so that means that the last prize is the grand prize. Hey, Sue, you're in here. What's going on, Sue? Congratulations, Sue. I like it when the winners are present.
Yeah.
Yes, Sue, make sure that you, and I don't know if Mary's in here or not, but Sue, make sure that you send me your address to funkatopia@gmail.com, or you can, I think you're in Patreon, so you could do do it there too. All right.
She just said,
Here.
yippee, thank you. Yippee.
Yippee. Yeah, yip for sure. All right. Here it is. The grand prize package. Woof. Grand prize. All right. This includes the first two things I'm going to name are a little bit weird, but they're collectibles because don't act like you wouldn't pick it up just to have it. Purple Rain on Laserdisc. Batman on Laserdisc.
Absolutely.
It's the video on Laserdisc. It was pretty, they were high def for that period of time.
Yeah.
Another collectible, the New York Times Magazine special edition, The Prince We Never Knew. Vinyl for Prince's 1999. Vinyl for Prince's Controversy. There's not a poster in there, unfortunately, though, but it's still awesome. Vinyl for Prince and the Revolutions Around the World in the Day.
Absolutely, man.
A brand new vinyl for Prince and the New Power Generations Cream, 12-inch. Vinyl for Wendy and Lisa's Fruit at the Bottom.
Absolutely.
And vinyl for the Times debut album and vinyl for the Times What Time Is It?
Man, that's
hot.
That's
hot.
That's
hot.
Mad. I should have put my name in the hat.
Oh, they would have cried foul. Wait a second now.
No, he's inside information to get all those vinyls.
He works here. He can't do that. All right, let's put it up. Here it is, the wheel. You guys ready? Oh boy, this is so stressful. And you can hear it when it's turning. You can hear it clicking when it's turning.
Yeah, I can hear it, man.
Okay, so sometimes I think I've done this in the past, and I can hear it making that wheel sound, and nobody else can hear it.
Yeah,
only me. It's like, oh, we don't hear that. All right, here it is. Last one. First off, before I do this, let me just say thank you so much to everybody that participated in this. I really wanted to kind of do something special for you guys, and really the donation part of it's really mostly just to pay for shipping. It's tough, really. It's like insane. But thank you guys so much for supporting Funkatopia. We are doing so many cool things. You can if you guys can't already see all the growth that we are already doing with what we're doing for you and all the events and stuff that we got coming up, please watch closely, because it's 2025 is going to be a big year for Funkatopia. So just be ready. And thank you to everybody that contributed or donated, and definitely to the Patreon supporters. We couldn't do it without you. The 3 radio stations, it wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for the Patreon supporters, because the ASCAP licensing fees and the global music rights fees that are going to be coming are no joke. They're no joke. But I want to make sure that we're doing everything legitimately, that the artists are getting paid when we're playing their music. That's what we're supposed to do here. This is about artist support across the board. And it's not just that, but just to be on StreamYard here, and that costs money. I mean, a lot of people we're on the highest level of StreamYard. I think it costs almost $100 a month just to be on this. So it's no joke. It's no joke. So again, thank you to everybody. And I'm going to go ahead and shut up and do this grand prize drawing. Here we go. All right. Good luck to everybody. Really. And congratulations to Jason Vig. All right, man. Congrats. I got to put that in there. Jason, congratulations. I don't know if you're in here or not. I got to put your name into the mix and make sure that you're taken care of. Thank you guys to everybody. I know I wish we had prizes for everybody. I can tell you this, though. Here's what I can tell you. If you join patreon.com/Funkatopia and support Funkatopia through Patreon, I give gifts to our Patreon supporters every single month. Every month I give you guys music files. I give you access to things that not everybody has access to. I give you entries to, I make sure that you guys get taken care of as much as I possibly can. So thank you to everybody for participating in that. It's all good. Appreciate it. All right. That was fun.
Yeah, man.
All right. So we're going to now move into, let me put this one scroll up here real quick. If you want to support Funkatopia, please do so through Venmo at Funkatopia, Cash App $, Funkatopia, or again, as I said, patreon.com/Funkatopia. But if you don't want to monetarily support or can't monetarily support, that's fine. But please do click follow and subscribe. Please do that. That's an important part of what we do. Now, we're going to be talking about the Celebration 2025, the early bird information that got released yesterday. So before I get into this, I want to make sure this scroll is really important. Funkatopia Live is not endorsed or affiliated with Prince, Paisley Park, or the Prince Estate. All commentary here is just us talking. That's it. We claim no authority, just move because I said so.
But we can't take responsibility if somebody's listening and gets a good idea here and there from it. Now, right. I'm not saying that they're paying attention, but it feels like they're paying a little bit of attention. Just that much.
I just cannot believe that I just randomly, off the top of my head, dropped a follow for now line. I claim no authority, just move because I said so.
That's all right, man.
Oh, going old school. All right, let's do this again. Congratulations. All right, so going to talk about Prince Celebration 2025, the announcement that just dropped yesterday that includes pretty much everything that you need to know, except for like the timeline of when things are specifically happening, and some of the, I guess, transportation stuff, when shuttles will show up and whatnot. Here is the graphic that came across the top of the page. It's also the background that we have behind us here. But if you notice something about this, outside of, I guess, the kind of a little bit of the rain backdrop and his glasses, not really a lot of Purple Rain 2.0 stuff happening here. It has got around the world in the day. Around the world in the day stuff, because you have the ladder there, and you got the flowers, and you've got the graphic. That graphic is from the hit and run stuff, and then of course you got the symbol and the logo. It's kind of curious as far as the Purple Rain 2.0 stuff, because it seems like they backtracked a little bit, and maybe they really are paying attention to the fans and going, you know what? Take a beat and let's really discuss this. Go ahead.
And if they are, good on them, man.
Good on them.
Because
absolutely.
We're not doing this. We're not talking about these things to denigrate anyone.
Right.
We're really trying to help, everybody, win at this. Help the fans get what they want. Help the estate get what they're looking for. Really.
Right. Exactly.
So.
Yeah. Got to give the people.
Well,
give the people what they want.
Get it, people. Get it, people. Get it, people. What?
So yeah, this is cool. You got this. This was really promising. Just seeing this graphic alone, just seeing that was badass.
Sure.
But so here it is. The celebration is going to be from June 5th through June 8th, and technically, we'll get into the details of this, but that June 8th is more for VIP than anything else. GA, you'll probably be June 5th through June 7th, like it has been in the previous years. But we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the differences. Many folks, especially on the GA side of things, will leave that on that Sunday to go home, so they don't have to dig into the work week. It's so anything that they typically have set aside for GA during that last day, it is very, very minimal. Like maybe you might get like a walkthrough tour of Paisley Park if you happen to kind of fall in that realm. It's just, anyways. So the celebration tickets started selling for early bird pricing yesterday, which was 4/7, which was sent to the 2024 attendees first and foremost. And I'll go ahead and tell you right now, if you want to go ahead and jump forward and look at the page, and you weren't a 2024 attendee, the link's out there. So it's not like I'm divulging anything that everybody is almost aware of, but there may be a scattering few of you that don't have this information. So once again, to make it easy, funkatopia.com/2025. That's it. But funkatopia.com/2025, it will take you right to the Paisley Park event page for that. Because if you just go to paisleypark.com and you click on events, this is not up there yet. It's sitting in the background. You got to get to it from a direct link. I don't know when all that stuff will go on sale, but for the general public, but there it is. So again, yesterday that hit, and it showed that graphic, kind of giving the dates, June 5th through 8th, Paisley Park and downtown Minneapolis, which is indicative of that it's going to be at Paisley Park and downtown Minneapolis. Yeah. So they're going to kind of like they did last year. They did the Capitol Theater, and that's the Capitol Theater, State Theater. And they did, showed movies there, did some shows there. So it's going to be, this is going to be interesting to kind of see. It also adds a little bit of, I'm trying to think of the right word. Not a complication. That has a negative connotation. So it's not a complication. But when you have events happening in Paisley Park, which is down in Chanhassen, which is basically West Minnesota, and also in downtown, which is kind of, northeast of Chanhassen, there's like a what is it, about a 35-minute drive, depending on where. It's about a 35-minute drive, depending on where in downtown their events are going to be. Anyways, so choosing your lodging is a strategic move, but I'll tell you what I do when we get to that part. But so they sent this email out, and the email started with this. I will read through it for you audio folks that are listening on iHeartRadio or Spotify, because you cannot see the graphic. So I'll read through this if you guys haven't seen it. It says, every year, the Prince fam comes together from near and far to celebrate the life, music, and undeniable legacy of Prince. Paisley Park isn't just a place. It's where we return to reconnect, reflect, and recharge. It's where the music still breathes. It's where the spirit of creativity is always live. We're turning up the excitement as we honor the iconic era of 1985, a monumental year for Prince, as he was ending out his landmark tour that transformed his career, the release of his new album, Around the World in a Day, winning his first 3 Grammy Awards and an Academy Award for Best Original Song Score in the movie Purple Rain, then breaking ground to start building out Paisley Park, all in 1985. This year, Prince Celebration 2025 will bring an exciting lineup of special unreleased material from the vault, panel discussions, exclusive concert footage, live concerts, block party, Purple Path, I'm not sure what that is, activations, social events, and gatherings at Paisley Park and across downtown Minneapolis. Early bird tickets are available for purchase on April 7th, 2025. Don't miss this limited offer. This is your opportunity to get tickets at a reduced rate before the official ticket release date. Explore the celebration ticket offerings below and select the experience that speaks to you. And of course, they also have a special offer that they're saying here where you can upgrade your event experience to kind of go up a level for, I guess, the Paisley Park tours and whatnot. So anyways, that's essentially what it is. So let's talk about what it is that you get for what's happening. And if you go to the page, it actually starts out with VIP and then goes down to general admission. But I want to kind of flip the script and show you guys what you get with general admission, and then for the extra money, show what you get for VIP. Now, most of you here probably are already aware of everything that's going on, but sometimes you miss things if you don't talk through it. So here it is. General admission. It's $600 for early bird pricing. So when these tickets go on sale, it's going to go up to $750.
Oh boy.
Now, let me just say, I'm glad we had this conversation before talking about how much these tickets are. I mean, is it worth it to hang out for 4 days and more if you stay on either side of the actual event with a bunch of Purple fam and just the fellowship and, of course, the music and all the events that come with it? If you've never been to the celebration, absolutely 100% it is worth it. Because the first time that I ever did it, I mean, it was just like, you can't get this experience anywhere else. It's just not. We all, being inside that purple bubble with a bunch of other purple people, all being there in Chanhassen or in Paisley Park or in specific locations, and to be able to, it's awesome. It's awesome. But anyways, here's what you get for that $600. programming downtown on Friday and Saturday, which means that on Friday and Saturday, there will be concert events that will happen at most likely probably State Theater. I mean, yeah, that seems like but it might not be. It might be another location. A general admission walkthrough tour of Paisley Park on Sunday. So there you go. So if you're general admission, while the VIP people are doing their special events on Sunday, you just kind of get the general walkthrough of Paisley Park. So if that's not something you're really interested in, or maybe you get that done early, you can jet after that. Anyways, social event open house, that's normally on Thursday night. Prince testimonials and activations at Paisley Park. Kickoff DJ dance party in downtown Minneapolis. Normally it's at the W. It has been the past 3 times they did it. And then the concerts, which is what everybody wants to know about, exclusive Prince live concert footage. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what concert they pick, what concert they choose to show. Everybody will see that, including GA. So there are some things that only VIP is going to get to do. I'll go ahead and break your hearts now. The unreleased music, GA, you will not get to hear unreleased music. So I'll break your hearts now. That's only under the VIP package. And I think 3 years ago, I want to say, I'm not sure if it was 2 or 3 years ago, they actually gave attendees, the VIPs, cassettes. They were USB cassettes. They looked like cassette tapes and they had USBs. And the 2 or 3 songs that we had heard, they gave it to us.
Yeah, I heard about that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Mm-hmm. So anyways, so you don't get that part of it. But anyways, for GA, exclusive Prince live concert footage. We don't know what that footage is going to be. Morris Day and the Time. The Family, original members. Jesse Johnson is going to be here. I'll talk about that in a second. New artist showcase. So normally they kind of bring in different artists from who was Nerdy was one of the ones that performed. They always kind of bring out somebody new, and then some other guests to be announced. And then they also have panel discussions of Around the World in a Day and the year 1985. There's also a panel discussion on the 40th anniversary of the Family album. A panel discussion about the Vault and future plans. There's interesting little comments in small print underneath that says, in parentheses, new music releases, unreleased concert footage, documentaries, fam partnerships, and a 10-year anniversary celebration of life and more. I'm not sure what the 10-year celebration of life is. Next year is actually the 10-year anniversary of his passing, correct? Yes, next year is, but maybe they're doing that early. So anyways, these panels that they're talking about with the new music releases, okay, they're going to talk about what's coming out. That's going to be a really interesting panel. What's in the hopper? What can we anticipate? I mean, whenever you go to Comic-Con, Marvel movies will tell you every single friggin' movie that's coming out for the next 5 years, and they put it up on that big board. Have you ever seen that? Where it's like Spider-Man this year, and then the Avengers will be this, and it's like a big board of Marvel things.
I've seen that then.
Even if you're not a Marvel fan, you've probably seen that friggin' board and was like, it's cool to see what's coming. That would be really, really cool to be able to see some type of calendar that kind of show us what's coming out so we can kind of get excited about it. And that way you can also preemptively shut people up.
That too, but I think it's also it's hard nailing musicians down sometimes, man. You know, especially if they're working entities and they don't always, they're not always going to be available to do these sorts of things. I mean, I'm guessing. I mean, it's hard enough. I have a 12-piece band. It's hard enough getting those dudes to show up in one place at the same time. So I empathize with, whatever problems they may have booking people in advance, but sure. I mean,
yeah, it's all awesome. I mean, it's great that they're still putting this stuff out. But another thing they're going to be talking about is unreleased concert footage. So there's going to be some more concert footage coming.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got the Glam Slam show, which was amazing. Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I was just doing my job that day. Man.
I know it's all good. It was amazing.
Really.
It's great. More Michael Bland videos, please.
Yeah, more me. Yeah.
The documentaries. That's another panel. So I'm assuming they're talking about whatever it is that's going to be replacing the Netflix documentary.
Yeah. Okay.
This one was interesting to me. FAM partnerships. Now, typically when they say FAM, they're referring to other purple people that are out there, like the panel that they did where they had Dr. Funkenberry on stage. They had Rodney Fitzgerald was on stage. Mm-hmm. Violet Reality from were they from Australia? No, they're from, I can't remember where they're from. Casey Rain and them, they were there. Angela,
right. You wore your Michael Dean shirt.
Angela Duff was there, and I didn't even know this was even happening. And of course, me being me, I made sure this is silly that I shouldn't even say this shit out loud.
That's all right.
I admittedly, when that happened, I sat front row during that panel and wore my Michael Dean podcast shirt.
What's the name of his podcast?
That's just, it's a podcast on Prince. It's Michael.
Yeah.
So I had a podcast juice. So I had,
right.
I had on my Michael Dean t-shirt, and I sat in the front row during that panel. But so anyways, this is interesting. The FAM partnerships, because partnerships is different than being on a panel. Partnerships is you're working with whoever. So I'm curious as to who the FAM is that they're going to be working with.
Okay.
I mean, yeah,
sure.
I mean, let's call the elephant in the room. I'd like to, be considered for a phone call, at least a rejection call. Look, I know what you're thinking, but it ain't happening.
Right. We're just calling to let you know you are not invited.
Acknowledge me. Me.
Even if it's a straight no, at least tell me. Tell me no.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean, just tell me whatever it is that we're going to be doing here. I mean, even if it's just to say,
Yow.
Yeah.
Lame brain.
Even if it's just that, that's all good. All right. So what else? And also the 10th year anniversary celebration of life. So there's that. And then admission to celebration events and installations in downtown Minneapolis, a block party in downtown Minneapolis, which is normally open to everybody.
Awesome.
That just happens underneath that mural. It's right catty corner from First Avenue.
Right.
Exclusive Purple Path access. I don't remember what Purple Path access is. Maybe somebody here knows what it is. Anyways, Joni says it could mean, sorry, wrong one. It could mean visual artists and creators. It could, but the only reason why I think it's something else was because that's that panel that they had all those podcasters on. They called it FAM, Purple FAM. Okay. So that's the only reason why I drew that connection. Anyways,
I see.
And then you could have the option to add on VIP tour ticket, not to go up to the VIP level, but the VIP tour ticket. So instead of just doing the walkthrough one on Sunday, you could upgrade to a VIP one where it's like a 2.5 hour thing where they walk you through everything and they talk, you hear exclusive stuff and whatnot. So you have that option as well. Plus you also get 20% off on winter tour tickets. Okay. So that's that. So that's $600. So now let's talk about VIP. I'm not going to go through everything that we just went through with general admission. As a VIP, you get access to all that plus some. That ticket is $1,150. Sorry if that sounded harsh. $11.50. Let's make it sound less.
That's right. Come on, act like you're trying to move some tickets, brother.
Don't drag that shit out.
Yeah, no, come on, man. That's in poor taste.
Only $11.50, 50.
Right, that's right. A bargain.
$11.50, and again, it's $11.50. If you get it during the early bird, that's what the cost is, and it goes to $1,300 on the ticket release day. So you'll save $150 if you can go ahead and commit now. Now, what is the difference between what VIP gets for that money and also what GA gets? Now, one of the things that I am not seeing here is still the same concerts, the live concert footage, Morrissey and the Time, The Family, Jesse Johnson, all that stuff, still all that stuff. And there was a second part of this as well. Yeah, there was also, let me just show this to you. This makes much more sense. You get a 60-minute guided tour of Paisley Park on Thursday. Here's the differences. A VIP lunch at Paisley Park on Thursday. Exclusive unreleased material from the vault. General admission does not get that. Preferred seating and sections at the celebration events. In the past, and all of them I've been to, they normally rope off like the first 10, 15 rows, whatever it is, for VIP. So they get all those seats up front, and then GA sits in the back. We just sit 10 or 15 rows back from wherever it starts. So there's that. And then, sorry, I was getting a text here real quick and should respond to that. And then, but it's not that bad. If you're GA, don't freak out. It's actually a lot more comfortable back there, in my opinion, because in VIP, they normally have like the exact amount of seating or close to the exact amount of seating. So sometimes VIP people are like really close to each other because it's that roped off section. But they did remedy that last year. And it looked like they gave them more space, but also they get exclusive VIP merchandise. Doesn't say it's going to get it for free. Mm-hmm. You just get access to some exclusive merchandise. You get VIP lounge in downtown Minneapolis. So when normally during that party that they do on Thursday, it's basically it's not a block party. It's just kind of like an event where everybody comes and dances. Lake of Paris has been there the past few years, but it's amazing. And they have a specific lounge that the VIP people can go to get their drinks because the floor is just crazy. It's just nuts.
Sure.
And then VIP gospel brunch at Paisley Park on Sunday, and then again the Purple Path access. And Karen asks, what's the difference between VIP Gold and VIP Purple? Nothing. It's just different paths. So while one path will do something in the morning, and then the other path will do that same thing at night. It's just they just kind of like cross so that not everybody is in one place at one time. So that's the reasoning for it. It's just kind of goes back and forth. So again, what it is that Thursday night is normally the launch party, and that normally happens at the W, and that's kind of everybody goes there. Everybody GA, everybody VIP. Friday night is Friday night. I know they're doing a concert, and shouldn't be a problem with me divulging this because I talked to him yesterday, and he told me today that Jesse Johnson will be playing on Friday night. Okay, so Jesse Johnson will be playing on Friday night, and I'll go ahead and continue that also. Other information that I know. Morris Day and the Time. Well, I don't know what day they're playing, but Morris Day and the Time. Jesse will not be in Morris Day and the Time. That as it stands. So even though Jesse, because I think Jesse actually may have a conflict on that Saturday or whatever. As far as the family is concerned, the original members of the family, I think. I'm not the most qualified to talk about it, so let me bring in the one and only St. Paul Peterson.
I was gonna say, man, only one man could really tell you what's going on. All right, look at this.
Michael Bland,
It's
Mr.
St. Paul.
What's up? What's
What's
up?
up?
Good to see you, man.
I was just in the church praying for y'all.
Wow.
Hallelujah.
Hey,
yes.
glory.
Yes, sir. Somebody's got to do it.
How's everybody
Somebody's
doing?
got to do it.
That's right. So,
How you doing, Paul?
man, I'm good. I'm excited. This is going to be very cool. I mean, it's the right place for the family to get back together. Where we started it all, actually it was pre-Paisley Park, mind you, but just in the surrounding areas of Eden Prairie and Chanhassen and under the Prince umbrella, to be able to come back together with Susanna, Eric, Bean, and Jerome. We're gonna have
Yes,
a
Jerome's
ball.
going to be there. The question was answered. Yes, the question was
Jerome
answered.
will be there.
Nice. All right. So,
Awesome.
any other satellite players from that? I mean,
Oliver
that's
Lieber will be on guitar.
great.
He was in Tamara and the Scene, and he's the one who produced all of Paula Abdul's #1 hits right in Minneapolis. My nephew, Jason Peterson Dallaire, who was part of the Paisley Park House Band and in Carmel Electra's group, he'll be on keyboards. And Kirk Johnson is playing drums with us. I'm so excited to announce that. He's going to be there as well.
Nice. Okay, that's a packed house. So you got St. Paul Peterson, you got Eric Leeds. So the core of LP.
Very true. That's right.
And then you got Susanna.
Yep.
And then you've got Jelly Bean on guitar,
That's right.
and then Oliver and Kirky J.
That's right.
Wow.
We can make
That's
a lot of
and Jerome. And Jerome, excuse me.
Yeah.
Let's leave
But I
a
said
big
the first
piece.
time.
Jerome.
Jerome will be there. Yes.
I'm so good.
That is great to have. That's great to have Jerome in the mix.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of people were asking. Victoria wants to know. I'll ask it, but we already know the answer to this question. She says, "St. Paul, are you going to sing Screams of Passion?"
Oh no, we're gonna skip that one.
Yeah, definitely not. Right. Nah.
I don't think I'd be let out of the building if I didn't sing that one.
Yeah, I could. Yeah,
We'll definitely sing that one. Absolutely.
it might get ugly really quick.
That's right. No, we're doing all that, and we'll do some F Deluxe stuff as well. And
Nice.
it's we're really looking forward to coming to Paisley, and I think, like I said before, it's a perfect place for us to reunite as the core five.
Yeah, that is. Now, here's a question, because apparently you guys are allowed to call yourself the family again, and no longer, not necessarily have to go underneath the F Deluxe moniker unless you chose that for a reason outside of that. Are you planning on recording new music as the family? Not that it would make a difference, as far as like the output for F Deluxe, but just curious.
We haven't gotten there yet. I'll
Okay.
let you know.
Okay, please make sure I'm one of the first to know.
You're trying to bust it,
But-
to get a scoop happening here.
Yeah, you gotta
Absolutely.
Trying to get
That's
this
my-
scoop
That's
That's
a little
my
scoop
job.
on. Yeah, right.
Come on, little scoopo.
That's my job. Scoopalicious.
Not yet, man. Not yet. You never know, though. You
All right.
never know. That would be great. I'd love to make new music with those guys.
Yeah, man. Oh God, absolutely, for sure. And I guess the last question would be: do you know? And you probably do. Which of those nights are you playing? When are you guys playing?
Well, I mean, I don't see why I can't divulge it. I haven't been told I'm not able to do that. It's I believe it's is it the 6th?
So that's Saturday.
Friday? That'd be the Friday, wouldn't it?
Oh, it's a Friday.
It's the Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because Jesse Johnson's playing on Friday also.
Well, he looks like he's going to be warming us up then. No. Now I'm starting some mess.
Oh, hold on now.
Yes, indie face.
Jesse, you know I love you, and you know I'm kidding.
It's all friendly fire here, man. It's all love.
All right, I gotta watch my phone now. I gotta see, make sure that the text comes in from Jesse.
Yeah. What did Paul say?
Jesse, you know
What?
I'm kidding you, man.
What was that?
Wait, I'm gonna get the call, not you. Trust me.
We
Well,
played loose on
I got to
fucking
tell
Tokyo.
you something, and I think I've told this before, but Jesse is the one who hired me in the time, and it was really cool. A couple of years ago, he came in and sat in with my other band, St. Paul and the Minneapolis Funk All Stars in
Yeah.
LA, and we hadn't played together in 35 years or more, and I was able to tell him, thank you for taking a chance on a young whippersnapper from Richfield, Minnesota, who knew nothing. He is the reason that I am in or was in the Prince camp. So I owe that man a lot.
And
Yeah.
and I'm glad he did. I mean, you guys, the Petersons are very well established up in that area.
Yes.
But I mean, the reality of it is that you guys are such an amazingly talented family of musicians, blessed. Just you keep continually pump out fantastic music, and just go unrecognized, and that's a travesty that Funkatopia definitely wants to make sure gets remedied for sure. And that's, everybody up there, Urban Classic, you guys with the LP project that you would, it's just across the board. There's so much talent up there. We just got to just remedy that and get the word out. Not that people don't know in this circle, but
we're staying the course. This is what we do. This is who we are. If we don't make music, we're lost. And music is the great uniter, no matter whether it's in Minneapolis or it's across the world, man. I've seen music just bring folks together like I've never seen anything else. So that's why we continue to do what we do, and we love what we do, don't we, Michael?
Absolutely. 100%.
yeah, man. Well, listen. Thank you so much for stopping by. I know I don't want you to be trapped in the car all this time, but obviously it's always good to have you, Paul. The door is always open. Thank you so much for all your support over the years and for being so responsive, man. You the dude.
Absolutely. Sorry I was a little late. I had to go in and take care of a little business with church tonight, as I said.
That's right. So. You always got to turn to the Lord first and get your answers.
It's all right.
Well, trust me, I got questions.
Yeah, we all do.
Have a great night, you guys. Thanks for having me
on. All right, Paul. Thank you so much, Paul.
All right, see you, man.
Bye-bye.
All right.
The one and only Paul Peterson.
Wow, that was very pleasant, man. That's all right. You just keep bringing people out of nowhere. It's
yes.
The surprises.
That's what we do. I like not telling you so that I can so that not only they're surprised, but you too.
Yeah. I'm like, oh wow. This is your life for me.
Yeah, this is it's just so fantastic. But yeah, so there you have it. That's there's more to it, but because we're gonna talk about actually let's continue down the path. And talk about the Prince Celebration 2025 partner hotels. Okay, first off, the partner hotels, there's a reason why I took a breath, because this is a loaded topic, because especially as I said at the beginning of the show, when you have events that are happening both in Paisley Park, in Chanhassen, and up in downtown Minneapolis, you need to be strategic about where you're at. First off, normally they have a shuttle bus that will take you from the hotel, the partner hotels, to downtown Minneapolis, or to whatever satellite event happens to be happening. But that's not always the case. Sometimes they only will send a shuttle to two of them, so I don't know which one's which. But here's what I'll tell you: Hilton Minneapolis in Bloomington, the Lofton Hotel in which is the Tapestry Collection by Hilton in Minneapolis, the Hampton Inn and Suites in Minneapolis downtown, the W Minneapolis, the Fauché in Minneapolis, and the Chambers in Minneapolis. So now, Michael, you live there, but I will share what I have experienced staying in both of those locations, and you tell me or whether or not you agree or disagree. I always stay in Bloomington whenever I come up to Minneapolis. And the reason for that is because Bloomington is in the middle of Chanhassen and downtown Minneapolis. When you start in Bloomington, and it's close to the airport, so it's easy to get, and it's right next to the Mall of America if you're a retail person and you have to have a day off and you want to shop or whatever. And there's tons of great eateries and places to hang out, bars, and just a lot of good stuff in Bloomington.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 15 minute or so drive to Chanhassen to Paisley Park, or a 15-minute or so drive up to downtown Minneapolis. So that's why I stayed in Bloomington, because if I stay in downtown Minneapolis, I've got a long ride all the way down to down to Paisley Park, but also a lot of those, it's like 45 minutes or so. And on top of that, a lot of those hotels don't have parking, or you have to pay for parking, or they make you park somewhere that is way far away.
Yeah.
Like it's a 2-block walk or something. It's like really inconvenient. And in like the Bloomington hotels, it's just like a normal hotel. Their parking lots right outside the hotel. There's no, valets. I mean, you could probably, but it's just a normal parking lot, and they're normally not like crazy packed, and you can get in and out quick. And so anyways, I stay at the Bloomington whenever I go to Minneapolis, and that's always my traffic. So do you agree, disagree?
I agree, man. I think being downtown is not going to earn you much unless all your activity is going to be down there. And even then, there's no telling, like you're paying through the nose for a room down there. And it's, I don't think it's much more dangerous than any other city, but I mean, it's downtown. It's a metropolitan sort of downtown area, depending on what time these events are happening, so on and so forth. I mean, just no matter where I'm at, I keep my head on the swivel pretty much. But if you're unfamiliar with the city, stay more like in Bloomington, because it's I think that there's less of a hassle.
It's just a nice, it's a little bit upscale. I to use the term gentrified. It's like one of these. It's just got a lot of coffee shops and coffee shops and those eateries that aren't like cheapy type stuff and not super high end. It's much better that way. And so since we're talking about, actually that I'm not going to bring up this next topic because it kind of feeds into this. So host hotels. They got a list of host hotels there. Again, if you're wanting to get tickets, funkatopia.com/2025, funkatopia.com/2025 will take you right to the ticket page where you can purchase tickets, but we're not done talking about it yet. The other thing is is this it? Yes. Shuttle and parking. This is one of I'm just surprised they released all of this information all at once. That was kind of surprising. Because normally they said early bird tickets and you didn't even know who was playing. You didn't know, it was just, it was a roll of the dice. And they've done that a couple of years, but I'm glad they didn't do it this year. They kind of said, here's all the information, get them if you want them. But they have shuttle locations at the old Greyhound station, and also the Family of Christ Lutheran Church, which is in Chanhassen. So you can go to Minneapolis at the old Greyhound station, which now when they say Minneapolis Greyhound station, no, that's not Minneapolis. That's not the one I'm thinking of. It's downtown still. It's that one that's almost in Chanhassen. That's like, it's like a bus station, or it's like a bus station.
Okay, I'm not hip to where it would be in Chanhassen, but the Greyhound station in downtown Minneapolis is I think I know where that one is. That's kind of off of First Avenue. It's kind of over by 12th.
So I guess if you happen to stay at one of the host hotels in downtown Minneapolis, most likely it's going to be the ones that they're on that list are probably going to be in walking distance to Old Greyhound Station. That would be my guess as to why they did that. Here's another tip. and I tell this every year, and I'm waiting to get my hand slapped, but they never do. If you are driving in, if you want to be of control of yourself, you can technically could park at Lake Ann Park, which is, it's kind of hard to explain unless you have a sky view of, it's called Lake Ann Park, right? The one that's right across from Paisley Park.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's called Lake Ann Park. Anyways,
You're saying there's
you basically have
over there?
Yes, there is.
Oh, okay.
So if you if you have, let's just say that this is Paisley Park, and this is the road that Paisley Park is there, and there is a highway that is right in front of Paisley Park. But if you walk outside of Paisley Park, there is a golf cart path that goes down in front of the fence of Paisley Park and goes all the way down underneath the highway. And that is where you're going to see your graffiti bridge. There are actually two separate tunnels. There are actually two separate tunnels that go down there. Three separate tunnels, actually, overpasses as you're walking underneath the highway. And people have put various graffitis there for prints and, memory stuff. And some people will do candles and whatnot, and just kind of different, just hang up photos, do some graffiti. And the city of Chanhassen has already publicly said that they will not remove any of that graffiti unless it is, it's foul, or it's, they're not going to, or profane. They're going to take that stuff down. But anything else, as long as it's okay, and it's just showing homage to Prince and whatever else, it's fine. But anyways, if you follow that golf cart path down, it comes out the other side of the highway and then goes up and right to the parking lot of Lake Ann Park, which they have tennis courts right there, and then people will park there. So when people park there, because that's where the softball fields are and everything, and everybody just parks there. So they'll park, and then they'll just walk the golf cart path as long as the weather's fine. And they'll walk over to Paisley Park. And then when the event is over, instead of having to wait for a shuttle bus or wait for a bunch of people to get on the bus and then be taken over to the train station or whatever it is that you got picked up at, they just go back down the path, get in their car, and leave and go wherever they want. They don't have to. So that's, it's Riley Creek, but I think the park is called Lake Ann Park. Yes, it is. Yes, but Riley Creek is one of the underpass names. This is Riley Creek. So that is just a suggestion. So they're going to have shuttles. They're going to tell you exactly where everything is going to be and what time, such and such. The cool thing about driving yourself wherever and just walking, you can also Uber. They said they're going to have Uber and Lyft stations close by the entrance if you want to Uber or Lyft over. So you can do that too. Anyways, so if you take a rental car, you have a lot of freedom. You can just, as soon as something's over, you can just go and get on the bus. Or if you're not feeling well, you can just go to your car and, not go on the bus, get in your car and just leave. Or you can just wait for the bus and hang out with a bunch of people and go back to wherever it was that you got picked up from and move from there. I don't typically suggest it for the night events. During the day, there's no proof that you're not supposed to be there, because there's softball games and there's tennis and there's people that walk their dogs and just people that walk and walk. But during a nighttime, you're 10, 11 o'clock at night when you're getting done with these events. But they simply just don't tow. I've never heard of anybody being towed from that area. So, but they can't advertise it. And I'm not advertising it. I'm just telling you what I've done.
All right.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Okay.
But yeah, so there you have it. General admission tickets, $600. Great lineup. More Stay in the Time, Jesse Johnson, the family, the original members, including Jerome. And then they've got some live Prince concert footage that have not been seen before. You VIP folks are going to get a meal. You're also going to get, on Sunday, you get like a gospel brunch type of thing. They kind of do they do church on Sunday for VIP folks.
Okay.
So you go in and, it's normally a band that plays Christian music or will play a Prince related song that's a little bit more like The Ladder or whatever. So there's
Sure.
lots of stuff going on. So it's pretty cool event. So I'm curious to see how many folks here in the chat room are actually going to be planning to go. So how many of you have actually gotten your tickets? So let me know if you got your tickets. I'm curious to see. Let me know if you got your tickets and where you're coming from. That's the other cool thing too. So, and now what I can also tell you is that when you're in town, that period of time from the 5th to the 8th or whatever it is that you decide to do, there's always satellite things happening that have nothing to do with the celebration. So realistically, if it is too much money for you, you could also come up to Minneapolis and hang with everybody, because there is always events that are happening in and around Minneapolis and in St. Paul, all types of different concerts. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in town. There's always going to be dance parties. There's always going to be, Lincoln will be spinning somewhere. Dudley D will probably be spinning somewhere.
Yeah.
You just never know. D Nice may show up and spin stuff somewhere.
Yeah.
There's concerts. There's something always going on because they know that the purple people are in town, and so they try to get in that window.
Mm-hmm.
So so go. It'll be a lot of fun. If you've never been before, it's a good thing. Still haven't decided what I'm doing. I'm not going to get into it. I just haven't decided what I'm doing.
All right.
No
pressure.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't want to get into it. I want to, but I'm not going to.
No, come on, man.
No, I'm not going to do it.
We're doing so well.
I know. So Mary is doing from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Got tickets yesterday. Anita Webster, where are you coming from? Where are you coming in from as far as the GA folks? I'm curious as to, because I've heard some experiences. People didn't feel like the VIP was worth it last year. I think there was a lot of disconnects. They had kind of changed the way they were doing things as far as the flow. It definitely wasn't like, the McDonald's brothers speedy system. It was like there was like things that shouldn't have crossed that. It was the thing.
All right. Okay.
But you've never done a celebration posthumously, have you?
I have not. No.
Okay. It just takes too much out of you.
I got my own issues about just going into that building just as a civilian after, literally spending years in that building, like years of time, to kind of just sort of be shuffled around and you told, oh, don't go over that way. And don't, and I've been in every room in that building. It just, I think of it as being reductive for me personally.
I always had a question. And, now that we've kind of done what we needed to do with the Celebration 2025 discussion. If you guys have any other questions about Celebration 2025, I hope that was informative for you as far as what's coming. You can always just look and see everything that we talked about in a one-pager format at funkatopia.com/2025. That's FUNKATOPIA.com/2025. And it will take you right to the page where it has everything that I just told you in a one-page format. You can print it out. So now we're done talking. I'll answer your question and any questions you have there. But now we're going to move into the portion of the program that I call the Michael Bland Experience.
Oh, really? Is that what we're calling it?
That's what we're going to call it.
Yes.
I need to create it. Yeah, bitches.
Well, all right. Well, let's do it.
We're going to call it the Michael Bland Experience moving forward. I'm going to create a graphic for it and everything. I'm going to stay up late tonight and create a friggin'
These
graphic.
are the questions that you got stored up from the
Yeah, as I saw questions pop in, I'm just kind of starring them. But again, if you do have questions about the celebration, feel free to. We can revisit the Mr. Christopher Experience to address any celebration questions. But for right now, we're moving into the MBE.
Yeah, okay. And I'll try to knock these out quick, man. I know you don't want to
Oh no, I love this. I
Keep
love
the
this.
momentum moving.
No, this is one of my favorite portions of it because, you're first off, you're a legend. You've all this cachet. You've worked with the great one. And so you've had that front row seat to those not so great things. and just the experience in general. I mean, you have like that, and you're so unfettered and unfiltered about, you're going to say what you feel. And that's what we love, when to have the opportunity to ask these questions and kind of go into it.
I'll be as truthful as I can be, within taste, of course. I don't know what's coming, but I'll give you the best I can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is not one that I starred. So again, if you have any questions that you want to ask Michael, go ahead and ask them. I think I've starred most of them as they've gone by. Is this a question? Electric Vibe says, you're going cause Jesse. Haha. You're going, Of course. He's talking about me going to the celebration.
Well.
Yes. Yeah. So you definitely would be one of the reasons why, but we're not going to talk about it. Anyways. Here's a question that I have. I've already started some questions for you, but here's a question that I have. You talked about going into Paisley Park and seeing really kind of every room in there. What was the most unusual room or area of Paisley Park that probably no one's seen there, that maybe you've seen, that maybe it's upstairs, some kind of really just, gosh, why is this here? It's just unusual.
Wow, no, it's the building is built very practically, I think. They considered everything that an artist like Prince would need, like, just a place to rehearse, a place to shoot videos.
Mm-hmm.
You got 3 working recording studios in the building. It's, again, you're asking me, and I'm a musician, so it's like everything in there has a purpose. Every room has a particular.
Yeah, I mean, like for instance, I know what I found unusual, that one studio that's got the door up on the wall. And I know that's a storage area, but it's like, is this place not big enough that you can have
Studio A? Yeah.
Okay. Is this place not big enough that you have to have storage up in a wall to get it out of the way? I mean,
I don't want to stir the pot and really speak from what I don't know, but I've heard before that there are it's kind of, Prince is able to kind of commute himself through that building without anybody seeing him. I've heard there are back channels, and I know that I've been under surveillance in that building before.
I never thought to see, now when you do the tour in Paisley Park, for those who don't know and have never been to Paisley Park, when you go into Studio A, it is a really nice studio. It's got some, but on the wall is a door that is not a door you can step into. It's like about what, 15 feet up or 10 feet up?
It's
about 15 feet up, something like that.
Yeah.
It's just a door, no stairs to it, just a door. And when you're on the tour, they tell you that it was for storage. They just kind of put drums and stuff up there. But what you're saying makes a lot more sense, that it would be yet another weird thing for him to be able to do, to kind of be able to sneak up on somebody, maybe look into the studio while somebody's playing.
Yeah. I really think, I wouldn't put it past Prince. I'm quite
crazy.
sure that the phone lines are probably bugged also in Paisley.
Yeah. This is a question that popped up for some talk about Paisley Park. Do you know what the Circle building is that is separate from the main building? I actually do know what that is.
I don't. So you can probably both of us.
So originally it was supposed to be a restaurant of sort, kind of like a little mini glam slam private club type of thing. So that was the original intention of it, was that they were going to, they wanted to create it so it was kind of like a little mini glam slam. It was like, so he could do like a little show, intimate show type of thing. And I guess it was supposed to be like a restaurant or something. This is what I was told from one of the really highly knowledgeable tour guides.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just became, that never happened. It never came to fruition. It was one of those ideas that he had and just never, maybe he realized the difficulties, the complicated nature of having to do that in such a because it's not really that big of a building.
You know what it probably was? He probably ran into some zoning issues. With
That's
the city
probably
of
what it is.
Chanhassen. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
the truth is probably the simplest, which is somebody didn't really handle that situation the way, Prince was very impetuous. He wanted things, he asked for things out of nowhere and he'd expect them immediately. So I'm quite sure somebody tried to get that done, and some piece of housekeeping wasn't, finished up. It's probably a dispute with the city of Chanhassen or with Carver County, and then it devolved into, well, just forget it then. Like, I wonder if there's electricity in that building.
I've seen that door get open many times. Every single time they had an event that was out in the yard or out in the lawn.
Okay.
I would see people going in and out of there, and I never saw lights. It always just seemed like it was dark.
I mean, that's some storage, is what it is.
Well, and that's what I was
storage.
told. That's what I was told is happening with that egg right now, is that all the old stage stuff and everything. So it seems like if you're like wanting to get some memorabilia, it's in that egg. There is like tons of that. They already know. Everybody already knows it. They tell them that on the tour. They're staged.
All right.
It's not something I didn't divulge a secret.
Okay, so far we're cool. The powers that be have been cool with us, man. We don't want them to get uncool all of a sudden.
It's still behind a fence when security guards and stuff. So
all right.
It is what it is. Anyways, David said, heard him and Manuela tried to make it a place to feed the homeless and less fortunate. I mean, that would be,
I'm not sure about the location, but it's certainly a noble idea.
Is there a lot of homeless people in that Chanhassen area? There's nothing out there.
Listen, I would be surprised, but I won't say never.
Same. I would be surprised because it's not, if you've never been to Chanhassen, it's not like a downtown type of Minneapolis type of scenario. It is a very, it's open spaced town. It's still, yes, there are restaurants and some strip shopping centers there now, but it's still mostly industrial and open space.
Yeah, you could. I mean, I
don't know either. All right, let's see some of these starred questions I moved over here.
Let's go ahead. Let's get it, man.
Now, some people ask really specific questions about specific shows, and I know how difficult that is, so I get it. But here, let's for first one here. Please, it's from Rents Darrow. Hello, Rents. Please have Michael expand upon what he said last week regarding Prince hurting his hip in 1998 while performing with Shaka. When, where, etc. was it tied into his later hip issues? Thanks. Thank you.
I honestly don't remember that many of the details, and really what I know I heard from Reverend Mike Scott. I was not out there. I was in 1998, I was spending more time in Italy. So this is just what I happened to hear about the situation. What I heard was that he did the splits and felt something immediately go wrong, like in his body, and that the next show was canceled. And Mike Scott happened to be telling me a story about how nobody told Shaka Khan's people, and they showed up at the venue, and nobody had bothered to tell them that the show was canceled. And that and everyone was going to the next city. So, needless to say, when Shaka showed up and saw Leary and Prince and catering, she had a few words to say, is what I was told.
Oh, I think now that you say that, I think I do remember her telling that story when she was on a panel at one of the celebrations. I remember her still being really pissed about that.
Well, that's something I'm quite sure that it was not done intentionally. But
no.
These things happen, but you don't treat Shaka Khan like that.
No. But I've also seen some examples of her demeanor when she gets ticked off. Like I've seen some interviews where she starts getting heated when she starts talking about stuff.
That's why you don't treat Shaka Khan like that, because she man, I love that woman.
Oh yeah, I love her too.
One of the hardest things for me to do was to walk away from touring with Shaka to take that Maxwell tour when Fortunate was out and all the black girls were going crazy. But I had to go The money was better. You know, he was touring for longer and more consistently. But I'm telling you, Shaka's my heart, man. But you know, and she believes in doing business. She doesn't ask people for anything she wouldn't do herself. She's serious, man. So when you cross her, you're crossing somebody who really, you know.
Yeah. I'm a woman. I'm a backbone.
What? What little hair I had was,
man, oh my God, dude. Don't cut me loose.
Standing up on my head, man. My hair was just when she started singing. And I went back to sub for Sonny Emery because he got double booked with Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I asked Melvin, her musical director, I said, "You sure she's not mad at me for leaving?" Man, no, CK's cool, man. And so I went. It was a gig in Chicago and one other one like in Cincinnati or somewhere. And I was nervous about seeing Shaka. And she didn't come to sound check, so I was like, okay, cool. But when we start the show, once she gets started, she comes walking by the drum riser and says, "You gonna stay with me this time? You gonna stay?" And I'm Shaka. Hi, Shaka.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I just love it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that's what I heard. I heard that he hurt his hip and that the doctor was like, if you don't stop doing the splits, you won't be able to walk, is what I heard. That he damaged.
This is a business, and you ain't too far gone to see that yet.
That's right. So, you know, it's I don't, but I wasn't there, so let me not, you know, pontificate too, you know.
Yeah, I get it.
Too much on it.
All right. Cat, let's see. Next was Cat Whiten. Hey guys, Michael, do you have any particular standout memories of the 20-minute gig the NPG did for Radio 1 in London for 250 fans? Same day as the last gig of Act 2 at Wembley Arena in 1983.
It was just extremely early in the morning for us. It was like 8 o'clock. And we just went into like show mode. That was when I really learned that that playing in a band like that, there's a deeper consciousness at work because everybody just kind of blocks everything out and just like that show was complete fire. And while we were playing it, it was just like, okay, we're doing what we're supposed to do. We don't have a sense of what impact is really being made, you know, when you rehearse that hard. And so, I mean, really, it was just like any other gig. But then I heard a bootleg of it, and I was like, wow, we were like violent at like 8 in the morning, you know, and had played the night before, and we were going to play, you know, we were going to sound check probably from there, you know.
Wow.
But no, it's like being a Manchurian candidate. I can't really give you like the play-by-play because I'm just kind of in that space.
There's very few people that can do that. It's like, well, where are you on February 12th, 1984? It's like, oh, that was the day that, I had that bad chicken. And it's like,
only because every day of my life for years was absurd.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's why. It's just every day was absurd, man. We can go to the next one.
This is a well, it's not a two-parter. It's he broke it up. The Electric Vibe said, you mentioned that Sharon Sayers Belton, former mayor of Minneapolis, not to mention the first woman mayor, and person of color to hold that position, held functions at Paisley. Was Hucky Austin her bodyguard?
I have no idea, but yeah, that's true. We saw the mayor more than once.
What a weird thing to be curious of. Who protected that woman?
Yeah, that's going. You'd have to ask Hucky. I'm not sure.
That's Electric Vibe. You have to explain the reasoning as to why you were curious about who her security was. I couldn't get past that guy.
I know he was at one point. She's his aunt as well. Is what?
Okay, all right.
Who's that? Kurt? That's probably Kurt. Is that you, Kurt, or is it's Jake or Kurt? Hey, cats. Electric Vibe in the house. Yes.
Yeah, man. Great. All right, Kyle Good. Let's go to Kyle Good. Mr. Bland, what's up? Did you have a click/metronome there to help with getting the count offs close to tempo? Was Prince really picky about tempos, or would he allow the moment have some say?
No, I didn't, and yes, he was.
Oh yeah. We have the radio station that I was telling you guys about, Uptown Radio Plus, that is only available to Patreon supporters at patreon.com/Funkatopia.
That's right. Tell them.
There are rehearsal tapes that occasionally air on there that I was sent. And you can hear him do that a lot, where he's just like, why are you playing it so fast? Slow it down. Don't do that. None for you. You seem to kind of be always on point. Well, for the recordings that I have, I mean, was there moments where he was like, turn to you and go like, what are you on crack? Why are you playing it so fast?
I don't remember much like that, but I was, I took the job very serious, man. I mean, I looked at it like if Prince is asking me to do anything I can't do, I'm not qualified.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, if I can't make it happen, I shouldn't be here. So, and really playing solid time with a band that's so just kind of submissive to like the Hive pulse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how else to describe it. It's just you couldn't play out of pocket if you tried playing around Prince and Sonny and Levi and them cats. It's all time.
They're so they are a walking metronome.
Those guys play. They have some of they have the best timekeeping of anybody. I could even imagine. Miko was just a ringer, man. He just all day long playing. He wouldn't leave a drop of funk on the floor. He was so tight always. It's just a way you learn to be. You have to internalize the tempo. It's got to be in your bloodstream. You have to really kind of study the ergonomic aspect of what it is you're doing as a drummer, because it's for anybody. It's a matter of the space in between the notes. It's not the notes themselves. Mm-hmm. That's how people end up speeding up or slowing down. They're not listening for the space,
right?
And when everybody around you is listening for the space, you learn what it is pretty quick.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. And you can hear it and you can definitely always hear it in Prince's music, because he was able to identify. It was just the way that stuff got wove together was always perfect. Let me just go ahead and tell the audience, go ahead and pause on the questions right now, because we got a little collection of questions here, and I want to be able to get to everybody's questions. So
when we get 18,
it's 15, but so let's go ahead and let's go ahead and pause for a second.
Okay.
And just, I hope I got to your question. If I didn't, we're going to be here for a pre-show next week.
I'll be back next week.
Well, yeah. He's the official co-host of Funkatopia right now. Michael Bland.
I'll be here. You don't have to.
He'll be here. If you didn't get your question in, go ahead and get it in later.
That's right. Get it in. Yes, indie face. Yes.
Yeah. Next week we have Mono Neon on the show. It will be a pre-recorded show, but Mono Neon will be on the show. Yeah. But because it was pre-recorded, we're doing it this week. At the end of the week, we're doing it on Friday. We will still come on at the beginning of the show and do a pre-show and answer a few questions there before we play the Mono Neon thing. But anyways, so yeah, we're good. Actually, we might do like we did last time, where we just released the video on YouTube and we just kept on talking. And if you wanted to go to watch it, you could watch it. That was a pretty good. It worked out well. All right. Let me shut up. I'm making this shit longer.
No.
Paul Smith, Mr. Christopher, can you ask Michael about the Gold Experience tour with the Endorphin Machine? Oh, we talked about this last week. And Endorphin Machine stage seemed like the best live shows with that stage, and an excellent, extensive light show. Yeah, I think we told him that we had talked about this last week, but you can kind of do a little quick synopsis.
I mean, I don't know how much the stage mattered really to us. I mean, it was really, we were just kind of. You put us wherever, we have to produce the same result. So, other than the fact that it was a headache to move around, and that it wasn't really designed for touring, so it kind of interrupted, things when we got over to the UK and we're touring for an album that wasn't supposed to even come out. It was, I mean, there was a Spinal Tap aspect to things that I'm not going to belabor the point. It's just, One of
the funniest things, funnier things that you said was that it was so arduous to transport because it didn't have any edges or corners, that a lot of the shows that you didn't even use the stage or just use pieces of the stage because you couldn't.
Because it sustained so much damage going into Wembley Arena that they were afraid to keep moving it.
Yeah, it's just silly.
I mean, there was a bed that was supposed to be on the. Here's how crazy things were sometimes. There was a bed, like an angel, like a bed with like it was gold, a gold bed with an angel at the headboard with a wingspan of like I don't remember how far. This thing was supposed to go on the stage. It was too heavy. It was too heavy. So this thing sat behind the stage every night. And I'm like, what is this back here? What is this this bed with this angel and this TV set? And somebody's like, yeah, whoever's bright idea was to build this thing. They built it too heavy for the stage to support it. So I'm like, so it's just
how heavy does a bed have to be for a stage not to be able to support it? What was it, lead?
Man, it looked like it was solid gold.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I'm just saying these things, there's some spinal tappage going on from time to time, So I think we took the TV out and plugged it up in the dressing room, like, so we could watch the BBC and whatnot.
All right, let's give some love to Purple Nerd Channel. Next question in the Michael Bland experience is, hello, Punkatopians. I have a question for Mr. Bland, and I apologize if you've answered this before, but what was the most complicated and technically difficult song of Prince's that you've had to learn?
Learning was easy. It was when we were creating together. And I would say like somewhere between 3 Chains of Gold and Love to the Nines those were 2 of the most exhausting songs to record.
Well,
a lot of parts.
Yeah, 3 Chains of Gold is very theatric, and there's a lot of stop, pause, move.
And there was no demo or anything. Prince was arranging this with the band.
Right.
So it's arduous. You have to stay focused for long periods of time. Then you got to record. And it's like, as a drummer, things can't really proceed until the drums are right. Then everybody kind of fixes their fixes and, the overdubs start. But until the drums are down, you're in the hot seat. So, I would always just try to be the person least likely to make a mistake, because that meant everyone would get done quicker. As soon as I'm done, they can get on with it.
Yeah. All right, next one. Fanto. Michael, let's say you are the curator of the vault. Would you release popular bootlegs from the 1980s? Wouldn't this be a great path towards proven favorites with the Prince community? I guess basically he's asking probably, would the bootlegs from 1980s be one of the first things that you release?
I honestly think that
Questlove would. He would release all the 80s stuff.
I don't have a particular interest in the 80s. I understand that a lot of people look at the 80s as Prince's glory days, but I think that he had a prodigious run. I think I talked to Paul about this once before. He was saying to me how he was there, for like Ice Cream Castle and all that, and he said he watched Prince just make one like quick decision after another and just be on the money. Didn't matter what it was, whether it was marketing, what single to put out, what videos. Like Prince went on this streak of just, I can't do any wrong,
Yeah.
And I think that happened in the 80s and he benefited from it, but I think that I think most of that music has been pretty much massaged to the point of I don't feel a need to really dig up anything else from the 80s personally.
I mean, first off, as far as writing is concerned, it was a very, very, it's kind of, let me see if I friggin' have this document. I hope that I friggin' have this document close. If I am any bit of a successful host, which I'm not, but I had a document that was here that showed how many songs that he released each year, so that you can kind of identify what his most prolific period was.
Sure.
And I will say that the 80s were the biggest period of of his writing. He was like on this writing frenzy. But the 90s were no slouch either, because he was constantly writing in that period of time.
Listen, Exodus, Come, and The Gold Experience were all being written for simultaneously. So
that's not surprising at all.
I mean, he always had a high yield. I mean, I probably less chart success, but I think that I think he was still very fertile, you know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
As a writer.
He was a monster. He was a monster. I was, you know, and I'm glad that he just kept switching it up, and because he was able to really kind of unveil the different styles that he had. It was like, I'm gonna go hard.
The Lin machine, like from the 80s into the 90s, you know, just cause that's what people are. Oh, well, that's what they know me for, so I should just do that. Like, that'd be crazy.
All right,
whoa, dude, Debbie McGuan is on here, man. Incredible. Debbie, I've been looking for you for years and years. Where are you at? Debbie did some of the artwork around like MPLS Funkin' House from, you know, those drawings of me and Sonny and Tommy and the ultra thin drawings and whatnot. I'm like, I ain't that thin, but thank you. Debbie did all of those. She's incredible.
That's great. The animated ones are the
ones they based the animated characters on.
Like, yeah, what I liked about that, it was very, very the style was very Ralph Bakshi. It was like
I think she was also involved in the artwork for Exodus, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Debbie,
welcome, Debbie.
Debbie, I need to get at Debbie McGuan.
All right, Debbie,
listen, she can have my email address, michaelblandofficial@gmail.com. I don't care.
There you go.
Get at me. Debbie, get at me. Michael Bland Official.
There you go.
At gmail.com. I need to talk to Debbie McGuan. She was one of the coolest people I've ever met, man.
Nice. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Great. All right. I'm sorry.
Funkatopia, making connections. In the face.
Yes. Oh man, Debbie, she's the bomb, man. Yeah.
Michael B. This is from Kale Heads on YouTube. Couple of disjointed questions. What was your favorite guitar tone of Prince's? Hohner, Tele, Strat, Cloud, simple guitar. And did he ever express regret over a poor decision? That's a broad question.
That's a lot, but I don't really know. I mean, any sound. I mean, Prince was. It's never the instrument. It's like saying it's the wand, but not the magician. I mean, of course, it's the magician. I mean, what I found is that most people, when they go from instrument to instrument, they really sound like themselves. They don't really sound like anybody else. Like, you know, you could pick up whatever guitar. Like I used to go to Guitar Center with my friend Billy Franzi, God rest his soul, and he'd pick up like 4 different guitars, and they all would sound the same. He's like, because it's your hands, it's not the instrument. So now Prince had different guitar techs over the years, and some really, you know, the Hohner sound is really like a DI, like his rhythm, it's bypassed and it's direct. It was always kind of direct. His amplified tone and whatnot. I mean, all of those dudes had a different sort of thing that they would try with Prince. I remember with Dallas Shue, who was the Edge's guitar tech from U2. He really sold Prince on Soldano amplifiers, and it was the best I ever heard Prince's lead guitar sound in and of itself. You know, that I remember. Like he had his tone on the new tour. That sound, Prince's lead tone was blazing, sustained for days. I mean, but you know, Zeke did a different sort of thing. Like he came from all these guys were great. Takumi, brilliant. He would always try different stuff with Prince. Prince wouldn't know it, I guess. He would, you know, mic like an Ampeg backstage. All Prince can see are those Marshall cabinets, and Takumi would just experiment, is what he told me. He'd just try different amps with Prince all the time, and like he just, you know.
And you're right. It is very much, you know, the instrument. You got to find what you're, as a guitarist, you just figure out what you're most comfortable with and what what feels good in your hands. can't imagine, somebody that's as proficient as Prince is really, I mean, he obviously is very, very picky about his instrument, but yeah, he can
pick up anything and make it sound good though.
Yeah, he's just that dude.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what got question here. Dan Gilliam. For Michael, it seems like the Symbol album was very collaborative, a real band effort. Is that accurate? What did Prince bring in to start the sessions, demo tape? How did you guys write the Sunset Boulevard records, the songs for that record? There's a lot of questions there, but basically it's all around the Symbol album and whether or not you really felt like it was a collaborative effort.
Yeah, I agree. I think he really let the band kind of shine. And I think, I mean, I took all sorts of risks in the studio during that time. It's some of my favorite work of my own. Like God Created Woman is like, we only did 2 takes of that song. And I think we got mistaken about the arrangement the first time through. And the second time, something awakened in my consciousness and I just played straight down. And Prince was like, okay, well, thank you, sir. We'll be in touch. Like kick me out of the studio. But the morning papers, 3 Chains of Gold, those are all like showcases for the band, really.
Yeah.
So it's very collaborative, but also I think Prince kind of pulled out the stops because we survived a terrible loss. We lost Rosie. So it was like we really had to work hard to compensate for that,
And I don't want to add questions to the list, but that loss of Rosie, this could be a really, loaded question. It was like, I don't remember the timing of that, whether you guys were in the middle of a tour or what was happening and, how you guys moved forward after that occurrence.
Well, on the Diamonds and Pearls tour, she was already leaving the stage on Sexy MF. We were playing it right before it came out as a single. So,
okay.
Yeah. It's
and what was the timing? What was the timing of her passing when you were in relation to where you guys were in touring?
We knew probably before we went on that tour that in 92 that she was going to be going. And we had seen Benny Medina, Backdoor Benny was already as soon as he found out about Rosie, he was trying to sign her to Warner Brothers. So, it's and no doubt she's talented. She's one of the best to ever. She's one of the best ever. So of course he wanted to be in the Rosie Gaines business. I don't fault him, but I'm just like, we just got her, dude. Like what he was courting her right away. But unfortunately for her, the year that her record came out on Motown was the year that Stevie Wonder decided to drop. And so Conversation Piece got all the attention of the department, the A&R department and whatnot.
And the album was okay. I mean,
it was okay, but I mean, they were, they try to bet on Stevie because he's an institution.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. But I mean, I think the print, what the fuss from that was a Prince track that he worked on that Conversation Piece too, wasn't it? Yeah, that was. Yeah. Again, we play that on Uptown Radio Plus. Download the Funked Up app today.
Do you have Prince's remix of Cold Chill off that? I think it's that same record.
I have the album.
It might be on A Time to Love, the next record. It could be. But there's a song called Cold Chill. And I remember Stevie sent his tapes over and Prince did a remix on Cold Chill. And man, it was so nasty. I heard Stevie didn't want to put it out. It was like it made Stevie mad.
Dan Gilliam says Prince could barely be heard on What the Fuss. Yeah,
well,
he was only playing guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was like
Chill.
really. Yeah, it was just in the background.
No, Cold Chill is a complete Prince.
Yeah,
went straight off, man. Cold Chill is one of the funkiest remixes I've ever heard.
All right, next question from Purple Steph. Finally, a Facebook person here. How did you learn all of his hand gestures and expand on a time you missed one of what? Either I'm having a stroke or I'm just not reading this right.
No, I don't exactly.
Okay. How did you learn all this hand gestures? Let's start there.
First off, it's not something you necessarily learn. These are the things, if you understand who it is you're going to work for, then you've vetted the situation. You know what's coming to a certain degree. Otherwise, you don't really belong there. Like I think it was Foley McCreary, who used to play with Miles Davis. and Arrested Development, and I think he even played bass with Fishbone for a little while Norwood was like out.
He may be in there now because now, not to go way off topic, but Norwood and Angelo, they're like totally separate entities right now.
I hate to hear when those dudes.
I hate to hear that, man.
Those dudes are brothers. They need to squash whatever it is, man. I'm such a Fishbone fan. I can't listen to those last few records because they're crazy. But yeah, okay. Hey, listen, it happens to the best and the worst.
Money
always come in between. Yeah, man. You have to. This is, I don't know.
Don't make you mad. It make me mad.
It make me mad.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, yeah. So no, you can't. If you make a mistake, you just made a mistake. If you miss something, then you missed something. You know, sometimes you got threatened with, getting some of your money taken. He threatened me. Somebody asked, did he ever actually dock me? He never really did, actually. I tell you, instead, what happened was, I told this story on Funkatopia about how it became Michael B. How that started happening.
Yeah, I remember. Yes, you did.
Yeah, because because good God wasn't getting it for me. And Prince said, okay, I'm gonna change it to Michael B. I'm gonna tell the tour accountant, if he hears your name over the PA and no music comes in, to dock your pay. Michael B. Pop. Yeah, okay, Prince. No problem. I got you from now on, brother.
Ain't gonna be messing with my money.
No, all I had to do was start to take the money away and tighten it up. I hear my name. If I don't wake up to that, I might, they might as well put me in the box.
I don't.
Michael B.
I don't know. Oh, Sandra Gonzalez actually asked an add-on question. What were some examples of some of his hand gestures that he did?
I mean, he hold up, bat, or sometimes he'd go, he'd be like, on the one, bat,
What about it? Did he have a specific hand gesture for Vegas?
He might have like wiggled his hand a little bit or something.
Because I know sometimes he would call him, but I think it was,
if he called it, then he probably would, make a clear gesture with his hand or the neck of the guitar. It just, it's just, if you've seen a concert video, you know how these things go.
I think Morris Hayes told me one of the interviews that he did with us. He said that there was something happened where he was positioned on the stage where he couldn't even see Prince. And sometimes Prince would throw hand signals and he couldn't see it. And he was still being fussed at for missing it. And he's like, I can't see you. You're like over there and I can't see you at all. So I can imagine that. I mean, obviously with Vegas, I've heard plenty of live stuff where he goes, Vegas in E. He just kind of goes off.
And you just have to, I mean, that's part of it, is just Prince really believed in sort of this quantum entanglement and this buildup of kinetic energy between us, and he wanted to have that kind of freedom, like where it was almost like he could do anything he wanted and we could read his mind. So I'm telling you, there was a lot going on, like as far as trying to reach a deeper focus and a level of consciousness that I haven't had to use with anybody since. He prepared me for war, but it's peacetime, man. It's like, I don't know if I'll ever work with anybody who was that demanding,
Yeah. But that's why he was who he was, he's is a perfectionist, and
even of himself, I mean, he, again, it's like you can complain, but you're talking about a guy who worked all day, all night.
If you're going to be playing the music that is in my head right now, you need to play it like it's in my head right now.
That's right. So, that's what also helps when you're touring with the same band you're in the studio with, though. You're digging that trench together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, it's what are we saying? Let's see, next one. Annabee. When rehearsing with Prince, did you ever have free reign to wander downstairs? Oh, well, I guess we're talking about Paisley Park.
Yeah, I mean, whenever we weren't actually making music, I could go wherever I wanted, other than like Prince's office, probably. And I went in there by accident the first time I actually went to do a session for him at Paisley. I went looking for the bathroom and kind of just wandered and found myself. I was like, what is this? This looks like an office of some sort. Well, there's got to be a bathroom in here. And I went around, and while I'm standing at the commode, I realized you're in Prince's private quarters. And you probably videotaped being here. So you better, shut the commode, flush there, flush,
You're on your hands and knees, fluffing up the carpet where your footprints were.
Yeah.
Not there.
You better get the heck out of here right away before anybody sees you. It was a Saturday, so none of the staff, like the people who work there 9 to 5-ish, none of them were around, so there was nobody to ask really. So I just kind of wandered until I realized, oh boy, okay, this is, how did I do this, and how do I get out of here without anybody seeing me?
All right, next question from Cioios, I guess, or Cioius. Michael, was there one track that you struggled with the most than trying to nail what Prince wanted?
I'm sure. I mean, not every day was diamonds. Some days were just lumps of coal, man. Was there one track when you struggled the most? Nothing that came out. Whatever came out, I conquered to some degree. Whatever I messed up is probably sitting around waiting to mock me, waiting to mock my ashes when I'm gone.
Let's see here. Henry, I'm trying to get people who haven't asked questions that are in the questions thing here. I'm sorry. I'm just having a hard time talking and whatnot. Henry Nelson, Michael, do you have any? Oh, we've asked this question before. Do you have any outfits from your shows? Any of your headwear?
No, not really. I mean, all that stuff got wrecked with 1 hour Martinizing in Ghent, Belgium on a Sunday. You don't know what kind of chemicals they're using. All those clothes are just raggedy as all get out.
But because David Brandon Sr. had a follow-up question, Michael, how did Prince convince you to wear the chicken bucket hat?
No, when Prince met me, I had a hat on. It wasn't a bucket of chicken hat, but it was it was kind of tall. And he said, is that your thing? You like hats? I said, yeah, I'm into it right now. He said, I like that look. And so what happened basically was my street persona got magnified and turned into, they took me from being like this, this West Bank, Minneapolis kid wearing all this like kind of Egyptian jewelry and whatnot to make me look like I was the king of Zamunda. So,
in the face.
Yes, in the face. So no, I mean, all those clothes they were wrecked pretty much.
That's a shame too, but they're some of those were pretty iconic. I mean, they're like the daishiki type of stuff. Yeah. Those are just like so comfortable, man. It's just like I like seeing those, especially I don't know what they call the ones that the Indian men wear, because we have a couple Indian families that are in here, and I see them walking with those things that look like really just nice robes. There's a name for them,
like a Nehru jacket or something.
Yeah, like they're like, that looks so comfortable, dude.
Yeah, so you talking about when it goes down to the floor?
The one that goes down to the floor almost. Yeah.
Man, it's like man, you know what?
I don't think I could pull that off. I would love to try.
I probably could, man, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to attract so much negative attention. Yeah,
it's kind of a little bit.
They'll think I'm a Muslim, and then we're gonna have a different kind of problem.
Yeah, you don't have a Doge issue on your hand.
I'm not trying to get picked up. I'm not trying to have ice coming around the house and whatnot.
We already answered that question. P-Funk Meme, hey, what's up? Funkotopian hat. Hey, you have any interesting stories about George Clinton at Paisley Park? I think we touched on that one too, but maybe you have another story.
The only one worth telling is one I can't tell. So,
and I've told my George Clinton story a few. Have you ever heard? Did I ever tell you the one? You may have not have heard it, and maybe there's some people here that haven't heard it. But I was backstage with George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. I was shooting. Matter of fact, if you go to facebook.com/Funkotopia and you go to the photo area in the albums, there's a bunch of Parliament Funkadelic pictures and Revolutions stuff. But anyways, I was backstage, and this was after a show, and they put all of George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic in a single wide trailer as their backstage treatment at this was at Sweetwater 420 Music Fest or whatever they call it. 420 Fest, I think is what they call it.
That doesn't sound smart at all.
No, so anyways, it's a single wide trailer, and pretty much everybody that was on the stage is inside this trailer, and I'm sitting in a chair, and George is sitting right next to me, and I have this recorder right here in my pocket because I want to interview him during the night. And I said, and I'm trying to find, everybody's got the after show pump, and it's just like this is just not an opportune time to interview. And multiple people are firing up in a single wide trailer with all of Parliament Funkadelic, and it's getting to the point where it is like a hot box in this freaking trailer. And I intentionally did not. I was like, I don't want to smoke because if I get an opportunity to finally get an interview in here, I want to at least have some semblance.
Somebody's gonna be lucid.
And it's not working because like literally the whole top half, even though I was sitting in a chair, the whole top half of the trailer up is just a big cloud.
Yeah.
And I'm getting lit. Matter of fact, actually, let me show you this picture. Hold on a second. Hold on.
First off, you left that sentence like, and then we were shooting. I'm like, shooting what, man? Don't you can't leave us talking about shooting.
Just to kind of give you an idea, of how you can see it in the photo. Here's the photo of me and George. you can see
y'all both look high.
Everybody in that trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's getting to 2:30 in the morning, and I just realized at that point this interview is not happening. It is absolutely positively not happening. We had done small talk here and there. So I lean over because he's sitting in the chair next to me. I lean over to George and I go, look, man, I'm going to head out. And without even missing a beat, he sits there for a second and then he leans back over and he goes, pussy.
Oh, George didn't have to do that.
I was like, dude,
listen, okay,
it's 2:30, man.
Listen, you told your drug story about George. I'll tell mine, man. The only time I'm ever going to tell this story in public. I stopped out at Paisley to get some cymbals before I went to Bunkers to play one Sunday or Monday night. I went out to Paisley with my drum tech. It was Scotty Baldwin actually at the time.
Oh, Scotty, what's up, man?
He picked me up and we went out to Paisley, and somebody told me that Eric, Bliss, Maceo, and Fred were recording horns in Studio B with George.
Crap.
And I said,
what?
I said, man, I got to go see what this is about. So I went in there. I don't know what Scotty did, but I went in there and I knocked him like, is it okay? And George and we had met before. Yeah, come on in, man. Yeah, So I sat on the couch, like in front of the console. I said, I just wanted to listen a little bit. And those dudes were killing it, man. It was on, I think they were playing horns on, we were recording Let's Get Satisfied.
What a lineup. Dude. Eric, Maceo,
Fred
West, and Matt Bliston.
Yeah.
What?
They were recording Let's Get Satisfied was what they were playing.
Oh my God.
And they changed things, but nobody would play anything. It's like, wait a minute, why don't you do this? Why don't you go to the third? And then they talk it over and then, yep, okay, we're ready. And out would come some different mess, man. It was like they were so together and like clockwork. Like, I mean, Eric is a true disciple of that JB. Like, he understands how it all works, man. And he would, he was letting Fred and Maceo kind of, kind of push forward. but Eric knew exactly what they were talking about, what they wanted, where to move. I mean, it was like watching like 4 like scientists working on a problem. It was incredible. And then they were like, and at one point they asked George, they said, George, you want us to hit that again? And I heard yeah, do that one more time, man. Yeah. And I was like, okay, it's time for me to get out of here. I gotta go. George is using the console part of the of the soundboard right by the TV, by the phone, by where they put the telephone at. George is just getting his swerve on.
Oh my!
I was like, that's the longest line of something I ever heard in my life. I gotta go.
But let's keep in mind, people, he's a different man now.
Yeah, it's all right. Not only that, don't judge George Clinton for using drugs. Most people use drugs.
He's George Clinton.
Yeah,
we're on drugs right now.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, we got 4 questions left. Let's see if we can wrap these in here. All right, my boy, Revolution 86. Mike, what did you think of Prince's drumming skills, and did you often have drum offs, and who won?
Oh, I mean, I think Prince was a great drummer. I learned a lot from his drumming. No, we didn't really have drum offs so much. Actually, it was funny because when I joined the band, I remember Miko and Levi at some point saying, wow, man, he don't even really mess with you that much. I said, what do you mean? He said, man, when Sheila was in the band, he was always going back there. Let me play, like kind of bullying her, like, get up. It's like, we've been in rehearsal for 3 weeks. He ain't tried to touch nothing back here, So wow. I think he had he really liked what I did, and I remember actually, it was probably in like 94 or so. He recorded some song by himself, and then he came and asked, he said, can you replay the drums on this track? He's like, I've been working with you so long, I don't even like my own playing anymore. And I thought, like, wow, that's really
that's nice.
Say that. Yeah, he was very. Yeah, I'm not sure if he was happy about it or not, but he did admit of and also why I'm I recorded more with Prince as a side guy than anybody else, because he liked what I did, and I understood more than just the rhythm of things. I mean, I play keyboards, I play bass, so I think he liked working with me because I approached the music holistically. I'm trying to make sense of everything, not just what's going on with the drums. I'm trying to set the music up for something better.
Right.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being in a scenario where you had to even just keep up with him. I mean,
you don't ever beat your boss at anything. That's just career suicide.
Right. That's like every single time I see Trump on the TV going, yeah, I won that golf tournament. I was like, he did not win that golf tournament. I've seen that swing. It's horrendous.
No, Prince was bad. Prince was bad. But, it's like, I wouldn't even, Prince was very competitive, and I'm not. So, any kind of contest of that sort, I would just, yeah, man, all right. He knew what he was doing. Prince was great, man. He was great.
All right, let's see. Welcome to Funkatopia Live.
That's right.
This portion of the show is the Michael Bland experience.
Yeah.
Where we are answering questions as they come through. I'm starring them as they go.
Can I answer one that Rico asked? He said at 8:27, Rico asked, any memories of the song Don't Say No that was recorded in 1999? Yes, that was the first time. You know what happened? I hadn't spoken to Prince in probably since the last time I think he came out to Bunkers at some point in maybe 97. And we spoke very briefly, but I was still kind of like, yeah, okay, man, whatever. Like, I'm out here fending for myself. It's like, I don't mind it, but it's like, it was just, I had mixed feelings about being let go. Because,
of course,
on the one hand, it's like, what? Prince did me a favor, because he let me see what the world was really like, beyond, the purple veil. And also I found that, that I had the talent and the ability to really play with whoever could call. So, but I needed to be out in the world and testing that. So, I say, nobody likes losing a job, but in a sense, he taught me really to be independent,
Yeah, but sometimes you get into situations where you're in a job and you're just like, man, that's nothing I'm going to do moving forward is really going to be where this is. It's kind of like, you hope you do, and maybe you will, but it's just kind of.
No, I will admit it was time. We were all he was getting on our nerves and we were getting on his,
Yeah, there you go.
It was time. He was right. But what I was going to say was when the first call I got to go back, he asked Morris to call me because Morris heard Baby Nose with the Lynn machine on it and said, Prince, I know you don't want to hear me say this, man. Apparently he said, but you need Bland on this track to push it over the top, man. And I guess they talked about it, and Prince was like, well, do you think he'd come out and record? And Morris volunteered probably to call me. And I said, absolutely. I didn't talk about money or anything. I was excited to mend the breach between us.
Yeah. And Baby Nose is the Sheryl Crow song.
Yes.
Right.
But Don't Say No was the other song I recorded that day.
Whatever happened to that song? That song's unreleased, right?
That song was awesome. I don't know why he didn't put it out.
See, but this is kind of what we're up against. And this is kind of one of the reasons why people choose the VIP experience on this celebration tour is to be able to get in there and hear some of this stuff.
You've heard of songs that you've never actually heard. That's the problem. Is that there's so much out. There's so many people talking about what hasn't been dropped. That it's. I'm sure it's got to be frustrating to be an outsider. I mean, like, what is all this music? How come I can't get to it?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's just kind of.
I can relate. There's a lot of stuff I played on that I'd love to hear.
I bet that's got to be the most frustrating part of things, because there's so many things that I've always been really curious about that's in the vault, like that entire album from Sheena Easton, right on the other side of Private Heaven. There's an entire album that she was just like, this is getting too raunchy for me. Or was like raunchier than Sugar Walls? Okay,
Sugar Walls is a pretty nasty cut. I don't know.
I need to hear that. Talk to me. Let's hear that. Well, I mean, that album was a shocker for Sheena's fans anyways. I mean, you go from My Baby Takes the Morning Train and then go to Sugar Walls.
But you know what?
How about?
Let me tell you, I like Sheena Easton more before, though, man. Really.
I did too. I like the pop thing, the Captain and Tennille type
thing that he did to all the women. He kind of, tricked them out, made them change their hair color, and all of a sudden they, I mean, that's his way. But I mean, I thought like, for your eyes only, that was the track that she did for the James Bond movie.
Yes,
that song is bomb, man.
She's incredible.
There's a song called "You Should Have Been With Me" that I thought was an incredible single. She kind of picked up where Olivia Newton-John kind of dropped off,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And again, we're talking about music, man. I dare you to put on an Olivia Newton-John track and poo-poo that, man. That's real music. That's authentic, heartfelt music. It's like people who say they don't like the Carpenters. How is that possible?
I was just gonna say the Carpenters, man, because that's just like those.
Yes,
monsters.
And I mean, same with Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's like there's certain music that's indisputable. Whether you like it or not. Anything by Duke Ellington whoops anything released in the last 20 years.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's absolutely. I'm waiting to be blown away by the next thing musically, and it's just like, and I keep on. There's some interesting albums that are out. Sir, who's a hip hop artist, but he doesn't really do hip hop. He kind of does this singing thing on hip hop tracks, which is very unusual. But he's got a brand new album that just hit. That's pretty interesting. Okay. But I heard, who did I hear? Erykah Badu is about to come out with a new album, and she's working on it when she hasn't had an album in 15 years. And she's working on it with somebody help me in the chat room. It's Erykah Badu and help you guys. It'll come up here in the chat room, but it was announced that she's coming out, and I'm telling you, Mama's Gun and Baduism, those two CDs are in a permanent place in this CD thing, just like Michelle and Cello's Plantation Lullabies, like friggin' Jamiroquai's Emergency on Planet Earth. There's certain albums, Lenny Kravitz's Let Love Rule album, Van Hunt's debut album, those types of albums are, you cannot compete with any of. It's like they're front to back. I could listen to them nonstop. There's only one song on, I think, Mama's Gun that I skip. I can't. It's some Jamaican guy that she's working with. I love you, or so. I can't remember what the song was called, but I'm just it's like outside of that album, and it's not that bad of a. I can't remember how the song goes now, but anyways, those types of albums where there's nothing to skip. Thomas Dolby's Age of Wireless. Yes. The Police's Synchronicity. These types of, it's like there's no skippable songs. The Fix's Reach the Beach and the Fix's Phantoms album. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like those types of albums are just like, no, wait a minute. There's no skippers. What's the Alchemist.
Which is the record with Stand or Fall and Red Skies at Night?
That's their very first. That's their very first. I
love that record, man. Is Stand or Fall on that record?
Yeah, it's Stand or Fall is on there. I don't know why am I drawing a blank on the name of the first album. I'm just
I don't know if it had a title.
Oh yeah, it does. Okay. And I'm losing my mind that I am actually. I cannot friggin' remember the name of that. Okay. It's gonna make me really Shuttered Room. Thank you, God.
Oh, okay.
Shuttered Room, yeah. But it had Red Skies at Night on it. It did have Stand or Fall on it. It also had Lost Plains was a great track on that album.
Okay.
What else was on there? There was shoot. I was just trying to look over. There was another big one that was off there. Red Skies at Night.
Yeah, a few years ago, Soul Asylum, we did a few shows with the Fix, actually. They still sound great, man.
Oh, they're still playing. It's still all the original guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All these years later, all original band.
Yeah.
A couple of them gone up and done some solo stuff, but still all the same guys.
Really nice guys, too. I tell you what, that a lot of people don't know about the Fix. You know the Tina Turner record, Private Dancer?
Mm-hmm.
That whole record is the Fix playing.
Yep. And you can actually, they're in a lot of their videos too.
Oh, is that them in the videos? Okay.
Yeah, because You Better Be Good to Me. Yeah. She's playing it on the stage, and Cy Kernan is doing all his weird stuff behind him.
Yeah, he's landing planes behind Tina. Right.
I love. He's crazy, dude. He's insane. He's insane.
Nice guy though. But, really, all of them. Very nice dudes.
Oh yeah, they're all great. All right, we got wait. That's what we do here. We're gonna go down rabbit holes. You're just gonna have to accept it.
Yeah, that's all right.
Michael and I are musicologists, and that's gonna happen. Welcome to our world.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Danny G. We only got 3 questions left. Danny G. It seems like the Symbol album was we only have 2 questions left because we already answered that one.
Yeah, we did. Mm-hmm.
Love Sexy 71. I love the rock trio period with Prince, yourself, and Sonny. What was your favorite non-Prince song that you 3 would rock out with during rehearsals or just a jam session?
Oh, wow.
I heard you guys do Zeppelin stuff before on rehearsal things.
Yeah. Wow, man, I'm trying to think though. But when we became a trio, there was so much extemporaneous kind of. One day we were messing around with like what song is it off Band of Gypsies?
Red House? No, not Red House.
It's power with the power of soul.
Yeah, Power of Soul. That's what it is.
One day we played that for about 20 minutes, man. And Prince just wanted to keep starting it over. He's like, the part where he hits the switch to go to his lead channel, this Prince just kept and just digging in, man.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's just.
But
I mean,
we played whatever we felt like, really, man. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, look, wait, you don't know who this person. Maybe you know. Ariathia, what is going on? I haven't seen you in a while. Last time I saw her was at the celebration. She's just a reporter for a newspaper. She's always up there kind of covering.
Okay.
And it's really cool because she gets to cover the Prince celebration and she writes all of it off. It's like the whole event's like coverage is like cool.
Yeah.
All right, last question I have here, and I saved this one for last. Did Prince ever talk to you about John Blackwell's drumming? And if so, what did he say? And just kind of your perception also, just kind of let's expand this question about, John Blackwell in general and impact on you or anything else you want to talk about, John.
No, Prince never really discussed him except for that he did tell me that he basically, John was playing with Patti LaBelle and he kind of stole him from her.
Yes, that's true.
And I said, was she mad? He said, yeah, but Patti didn't get mad in a way that like normal people get mad. It was like I asked to borrow her hot sauce and she was like, oh, I just ran out.
One of my good possessions.
Yeah, man, right on. Yeah,
John. I got John Blackwell's drumsticks here.
John had chops for days, man. But I'm telling you, I enjoyed watching him play with Cameo more than I ever did playing with Prince.
I don't think I've seen him play.
I was on a gig in Indianapolis I was playing with Shaka, but Ann Nesby was on the date, and so was Cameo. And that's when I met John, actually. This is probably sometime in 1997. I first met him.
Wow.
And, then I looked up and he was in Prince's band. Yeah. But
that's crazy.
I mean, with Cameo, it was like, man, he was just beasting out. It was like all pocket because Larry Blackman played drums on all those records. So Larry's back there, kind of yelling at him, and he's popping the snot out of that mess, man.
Wow.
I mean, he was just man. And so, yes, I think he was a great drummer. I liked him more with Cameo, I guess is all I'll say.
Elena is asking some Jesse Johnson questions that I actually have the answers to. I don't remember if I said it or not, but Elena says, I hope Jesse does a sideshow aside from the celebration. I always feel like I'm friggin' name dropping, but I talked to Jesse quite a bit.
I talk to these people, man.
I talked to Jesse quite a bit. And matter of fact, I just talked to him yesterday. And I was asking him about it's got sparked from the celebration stuff because I said I thought you weren't playing, and he was like,
"Well, look, wait a minute, man.
He is now. He is now. He is now. He is now. I'm not complaining. Absolutely not complaining. But I asked him if he was first. I did ask him because I see your other question here about is Jesse going to sit and play with the time? The answer right now, currently, is there's been no discussion of that. And I believe there's going to end up being a conflict because Jesse is playing on Friday, which has not been revealed yet. But you now know that Jesse's going to be playing on Friday and the family's going to be playing on Friday, which means that Morris Day and the Time will be Saturday, I guess.
Yeah.
It just surprises me that they would put the family and Jesse on the same night. That's a little surprising to me. But maybe it might be a day thing. Flip, I don't know. And I think there's going to be a conflict because there was something was happening on that Saturday. And I did ask another question. I did ask Jesse is that I said, will you be playing any new material here at the celebration? And he said no. So there's not going to be any. He said he doesn't want to mix that event with what he's doing on his new stuff. But he mentioned a show in November that he was planning on doing somewhere, not in California, was it Illinois or Indiana or something like that, where he's going to be playing a good bit of the new music. So I'm excited about that. I will get in my car and drive to wherever that is to see that for sure. But I do know some of the songs that he's also going to be playing at the show too. He also told me some of the songs he was going to be playing. So, but I'm not going to divulge that because I want you guys to be surprised because there's some cool shit that he's going to be doing for sure. So last question of the night, I think. Last question for Michael. What were your favorite Funk Night antics?
Oh, wow. I mean, the only one I really remember was in Toronto. On the encore, Tony, Damon, and Kirk came out with Blue Jay jerseys on, and the crowd went crazy. And Prince gave them all their money, and then he took all the money back because they didn't let him in on the gag. You could have got one for me, so give me that money back.
I think I heard that. I heard you tell the story before. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you guys have had an amazing night. Man, we accomplished a whole bunch. We did some pre-show talk. We did a massive raffle with 3 incredible prize packages. Congratulations to all the winners. The first, for those who missed it, you might know these people. Maybe you can kind of hit them up. The winner for the 3rd place was Mary 319. Second place was Sue Bailing, and the grand prize went to Jason Vig. So hopefully, if those 3 individuals, I have their addresses. If not, I know where to find you, and we will get that sent out as soon as possible. Also, remember, you can go to what is the address? Here we go. Funkatopia.com/NPG. Want to get tickets to the Together Show Saturday, April 19th. I'm going to be there, not on the stage, unless he asks me to come on stage. But I want to introduce you guys. I want to get up there and introduce you guys and MC and give you say, ladies and gentlemen, even if it's just short. That'd be awesome. Anyways, New Power Generation, Tommy Barbarella, Michael Bland, Levi Caesar Jr., Dr. Fink of the Revolution. And then, of course, for Mint Condition, Homer Odell and Rick Kinchin. And then there's obviously you got to have G Sharp, JB, Ashley Commodore, and the Urban Classic Horns.
Right. My peoples. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have such a good time that night.
Oh man, it's gonna be so much fun. And then, of course, next week, before that, also remember download that Funked Up app because on the Uptown Radio Plus, you have to be a Patreon supporter to get access to this radio station on the app. The app has 2 amazing radio stations. One's a 24/7 Prince station, and one's a 24/7 Funk station. But there's another one called Uptown Radio Plus that you have to be a Patreon supporter to get access to. And that one has got a lot of really cool stuff, including this. A to Z, all of Prince's music in alphabetical order. Takes 4.5 days to do it. It's over 1,200 songs, remixes, all kinds of craziness. And we're going to do it April 18th at noon. But you need to be a Patreon supporter to get that password and take it from there. And I'm not going to divulge what that password is until a little bit closer. And then, of course, lastly, next week, join us as we welcome the one and only Mono Neon.
That's going to be hot.
Yes, that's next week. We're going to be interviewing him this week because it needs to be pre-recorded and he wants to check things out. It's fine. Some people are like that. We're going to pre-record the interview and then we will release it to you on Tuesday night. But we will be here Tuesday night to kind of do a pre-show and maybe beyond. But the video of the interview with us and Mono Neon releases at 8 p.m. on April 15th. So be sure that you could, we're going to make sure that we've got a lot. We're doing a lot, man.
Yeah.
It's like a freight train.
That's what we want, though, don't we?
Yeah.
So be active. We're going to get active. What was that?
That was the light. The light just like crashed and burned. You got to take that out. Holy cow. Like this whole lighting system just came tried to attack me. I was like, holy shit.
See, the devil is busy. Amen. See now? The devil is busy trying to destroy the show.
He's like, close up the show right now. All right, so we'll do that.
Out.
Get out.
You need that sample. That's what you need. Get out.
Yeah, well, let's see if I got any type of samples that works.
Shut up already.
Damn.
Yeah. Or you need like the Scooby Doo when the ghosts come around and
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, Mr. Christopher, and my co-host, Mr. Michael Bland.
Yeah.
Welcome to Funkatopia Live. We will be here next week on Tuesday with a pre-recorded interview with Mono Neon. I hope you guys had a great time. If you missed any of it, just feel free to tune in on iHeartRadio or Odyssey or Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. It will be available tomorrow. Or you can just, as soon as we get done clicking, you can go back and watch it on Facebook, YouTube, and X. And hope you guys had a good night. Michael, it's been a blessing as always to hang out with you, brother. It's an honor, man. It's an honor for
man,
real.
Definitely, man. We had fun.
And of course, thanks to all of you. We'll see you guys next week. Adios, amigos and amigas. See you next Tuesday.
Peace.
Bye.